Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. You know it's going to be one of those shows when I've just been frantically searching for my notes for the last minute or so, and Jan's just highlighted they are right here in front of me. Yes, thank you for that, Jan. It has been one of those days. I am back with you for the next 3 hours here on Crafters TV. I've got we've got a Hunkydory sandwich, and I'm pleased to tell you that Jan is the bread to that sandwich. How are you, Jan? Great to be back with you.
That's me. That just about explains me nicely, that, Joe. I am good, thank you. I've been busy beavering away in the break while you guys have all been in here, so I've got lots of jobs done, lots of ticks on my to-do list, which is always good, and now I can add some more things on the bottom. But yeah, looking forward to this one. I quite like this show. I've done it before, and I do quite like it. It's been able to explain quite a lot, and if you've got any questions whatsoever about glue, about our adhesives, fire them away over to Joe and he'll get them to me, and we will try and answer as many as we can. Yes. And if I don't know the answer, I know the people that do, so we can always check out for you. So yeah,
what Jan doesn't know. What Jan doesn't know isn't worth knowing. You trust me.
I don't profess to know everything, Joe.
We have got loads coming up. Remember, Hunkydory will be here. Final instalment of that, what's left of that, I should say, actually, will be in an hour's time, so make sure you come and join us for that. Jan, we've got something big happening in this show as well. We are giving away a spending spree worth £500 or dollars.
Oh, do you know? And are we doing that later?
We're going to do that at the end of this show. Yes, we're going to be adding. We're going to be adding one more name, I believe, onto that nice list. Just checking. And then we're going to be drawing that grand prize draw.
So somebody on that list then is going to win £500 or $500 to spend
on the website
with Crafters Companion.
Yeah, how amazing is that? Make sure you stay tuned for that.
Prize.
I know. Still though, you still got time to get yourself up on that list, because all you need to do is comment, and every one of you, each time you comment, you will get entered onto. Start moving your mouth, Jan. You'll get entered onto that prize draw, which is amazing, and you've got to get double points as well all weekend, which is brilliant. That's brilliant. You also, as well, have a free gift too.
There we go.
You also have a free gift as well. I'm going to show it to you in the flesh, in person, right here, because this is your free gift for the day. You've got all of these beautiful die-cut foiled snowflakes. Oh, shiny. Look at how awesome those are. Every single basket that is checked out will get one of those popped into. You don't need to do anything. It all happens at checkout for you. But it is while stocks last. I don't know if we've got enough to last the day. So do be quick if you want to get your hands on those. And this, of course, show... Oh, gosh, there's so much going on, Jan. Fiver Friday, how could I forget about that? Fiver Friday's happening over on the website. A whole host of different products that are £5 or $5. Get yourself over there and get yourself a bargain. There are loads to be snapped up over there, so do go and grab some of those. Right, we though, of course, are talking all things adhesive for this particular show, and lots of you tuning in saying hello. It's a really brilliant one. If you've got any questions to get involved with, Robbie is saying hi from Alabama. Eileen is in from Puerto Rico. Alicia's here as well from Arkansas, which I love. Val's in from Southampton. Lorraine is in Lancashire. And Brian's in Batesville, Mississippi.
Do you know, I love how widespread our audience is.
Sounds like the sort of place you'd get a real, sounds like the sort of place you'd get like a really good pie, doesn't it? Batesville, Mississippi. Do you know what I mean? Got like a diner on the side of the road in Batesville, Mississippi. Real good stick to your lungs kind of food, I'm thinking. It would be excellent. Right, let's share with you then the first item that we're going to be having a little look at on the show tonight. It is this adhesive starter kit. I mean, the heroes is what you're getting in here. Jan's going to take us through how we use all of these in just a moment, but you're getting the all-purpose glue, the tacky glue. You're going to get our 3D glue gel, a tape pen. You're also going to receive our low-tack tape. You're getting foam pads, and you're getting red liner tape. I mean, Jan, this is literally everything you need, isn't it, in one collection?
Pretty much. That covers sort of the most popular glues that we've got. We have got some specialist glue on the show, which we'll go through later. But yeah, we've put the bundle together for you as a starter kit. And, you know, it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean that you're starting out your crafting. You know, we were talking about this earlier. We all use glue in paper crafting. It's a consumable. I tend to buy it when it's on offer and hoard it, like everything else, like we do, you know, like the paper pads and everything else. I've got a cupboard just specifically for adhesives, and I get very jittery if I'm getting down to sort of the last bottle and it's like, quick, get an order in. And as I say, when it's on offer, it's the best time to buy it. It's like buying, when I go to the supermarket, if things like coffee's on order, I'll buy it whether I need it or not, because it doesn't go off, it lasts forever, and it's there when you need it. So why not get that deal while
I thought
it's
you was
on?
going to say, I don't even like coffee then for a moment.
Pardon?
I thought you was going to say, I don't even like coffee then for a minute, but I do
No,
love a
that's
deal.
the first time I bought something that I don't like.
25% off is a massive saving on adhesive. It really is.
And like I say, we've called it a starter kit, but it's still the same glues if you're already a crafter, if you're on your crafting journey. It's applicable to everybody. So what I've done is I've gone through the samples, because we have got some extra elements on the show, which Joe will go through with you in due course. But we've linked them up with the types of glue that we're actually going to use. So I've just pulled one or two out to give you some ideas. So we'll start off with those beautiful, we've got some of the interlace dies on the show. And I'm actually going to demo these later on, showing you those in conjunction with our dotty tape pen and how well that works on the back of those intricate die cuts. So that was just an example of one of those. That's the birdcage die. We've also got the matting and layering dies on the show as well, which again are great with your double-sided tape pen. Or if you're wanting to use some of your wet glue, we've got the Collal all-purpose glue in there. I'm going to talk about this one early on. I showed you some of the decoupage. We're going to come back to that later in the show. And we're going to do that with the 3D glue gel this time. So we've got that on the show as well. I've got my 3D glue gel. All right, all of these in your starter kit. And then we've also got some boxes on the show again, which are great with your red liner tape. So I'm actually going to be demoing just a single one of these later with the red liner tape. But when you get the kit, you'll see when you join them together with the little Velcro dots, you can actually make things like this with them. So these are all individual boxes that are actually stuck together, and these roll up to make a beautiful little gift. You imagine something, some nice sweet treats in each one of those little boxes. And if you just leave one of the edges open to open it, you can actually pop your gifts in there. We've also got that lovely prism shaped one as well. Reminds me very much of a chocolate bar that you could fit, if you made this a bit longer, it would just fit a nice chocolate bar in there. But again, with the little, quite a decent sized space in there for you to pop a treat in. And again, you can actually put these together in the same manner as the rectangular one and have a whole roll of them that roll up to make like a hexagon shape at the top. So lots and lots of other items on the show as well as the glue. So do check that out.
Yes,
are we
loads
coming
of
back
savings.
over to you, Joe, before I start?
Yeah,
this,
no
or?
worries. Also, remember Hunkydory coming up for you as well in about 50 minutes' time, which is brilliant. We have, who else is tuning in saying hello? Becky saying hi, I'm very much ready for Glue School. Mary Rhino says hello again from Maine. Candice is in Western Nebraska. We're all over the place today, aren't we? Mary Pat says hi again from Montana. Who else we've got? Alyssa's in Atmore, Alabama. That sounds like, I love that. Alabama's quite pleasing to say, isn't it?
Some of the names
Alabama.
are brilliant, aren't they? Yeah.
It rolls off the tongue, it really does. Nancy's in Florida. Susan is in Michigan. Heather is in Hull, East Yorkshire, a bit closer to home. Diane is next door in West Yorkshire. Susan is in Las Vegas. Hi,
Wow.
Susan. And Shelley Hicks says hi, Joe and Jan from Florida. Really looking forward to this masterclass. Any questions you've got specifically about the adhesives, get them into me. But yes, you're definitely going to want to be saving this show and watching it back. Have a little look on the website as well to see all the other adhesives. Some of them I had not even heard of, but Jan has promised me we will maybe be making Tracy Island out of polystyrene cups in this show. So stick around for that, eh, Jan?
All right, so I'm going to start off with probably the two most popular wet glues in that kit. So we've got our Collal all-purpose glue, and we've got our Collal tacky glue. So both wet glues, both suitable for their own job. You've heard me talk about things being fit for purpose many, many times. And what I want to do today is show you. We often get a chance to talk about this. We don't often get a chance to show you, and that's what I want to do today. So a couple of clear differences that you can actually see when you look at the glue. So for example, the all-purpose glue is clear. All right, so in the bottle here, it's a clear glue, whereas the tacky glue is white. PVA glue in this one. So the other difference is that the all-purpose glue is a solvent-based glue, and I will explain that a little bit more in a second, whereas the PVA is a water-based glue. So because anything that has water in, if it's left to stand for any length of time, may separate. So we always suggest that you give this one a good shake before you actually use it, okay? And what I'm going to do is just some simple matting and layering. Now, if you've watched the glue school before with me, you'll have seen me do this before. And honestly, it's one of the best, we demo so many things for you, but this is one of the best demos that I've ever done on air. So I'm going to use my all-purpose on one of them. And the one thing that I would say to you about glue, and I was guilty of this when I first started crafting, is that you need a lot less than you think you do.
But Jan, I was covered in it the first few craft alongs I started doing.
People in general, you know, and I'm not being offensive about this, I've actually seen it, I've witnessed it when I've been teaching. In general, and I include myself in that when I first started crafting, use way too much glue. You do not need masses. You've heard me talk about the mayo effect in the past, where you press it down. You know when you press your sandwich and all the mayo squidges out the side?
Oh, you just lick it off the side. You just lick it off the crust when that happens,
you can't do that with the glue, Joe.
No, you can't.
So we need to be sparing with it, okay? And all I'm going to do is pop that one onto that. So what I've got is sort of textured cardstock and some patterned paper. So the textured cardstock is from our pastel textured 12 by 12 pad. My paper is actually from the butterfly collection, Sarah's signature collection. So we popped the collal on this one here. I'm going to do exactly the same with the tacky glue. So I've got the same papers, same size and everything. And again, both of these have just got a screw top. So you don't need to undo the middle section. This is actually where it connects to the bottle. This element on the top just unscrews to reveal that little gap in the top here. Okay, and they both work the same. Sometimes you'll get the all-purpose with the little glue spreader on the side as well. So this does help if you do get a bit too much. You can actually use the glue spreader to spread it out. But what I'm going to do now is actually do exactly the same. Turn it over. I'm going to be relatively sparing with it. I'm not going to put too much on here. I think I'm a little bit blocked up there by the looks of it. Let me just have a quick investigate there. What
can you do, Jan, if you do get a little blockage like this?
I'm just popping my pokey tool comes in handy for everything.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you were looking at me. All you got was me just wandering off the screen there, sorry.
Yeah, so I've just given it a little quick, hopefully, yeah, there we go, look. Oh no, it's still been a bit naughty. Maybe it's got some dry in there, but basically what I'm going to try and do, if it's behaving, come on, is just cover this just like I did with the there we go, that's better.
Mary says her PVA glue has gone brown in the small squeezy bottle that she's got. Wonder why that is.
Ooh.
Do you think her pin's got rusty?
In the little applicator bottle, quite possibly. Sorry, I thought you meant the main bottle. Quite possibly, it needs to be a stainless steel pin, which is what they come with.
Yeah.
If for any reason you've changed it and just grabbed an ordinary everyday pin and it's not stainless steel, it will. It's almost like going rusty.
Yeah.
The water content in the glue. This one's really not happy at the minute. I'll have a look at this in the break. But yeah, I'm wanting to just get some on here. It would help if I've obviously got some dry glue in there somewhere, which is stopping the flow. I'm going to swap it, I think. Just grab another one off the side there. Let's just try that one. Sorry about that, folks.
Oh, that's all right.
I don't
We'll
know.
let you off. Anyone else, we wouldn't. We'd be saying, goodness, can you imagine? Can you see what they did? But if
that
it's
one's
you,
definitely
Jan,
working. There we go. So again, not too much glue, Jan. Come out faster than I was expecting. And then I'm going to mat and layer that one. And then all I'm going to do is pop those to one side for now. All right, I want those to dry a little bit, so we'll come back to them later in the show. Okay, so all I've done is press that one flat and this one flat. All right, I'm not even going to label them because the differences between them will become obvious. I'm going to pop those to one side and I'm going to leave them for a little while. One of the other things that I want to talk to you going back to, I'm going to flick between these two. Oh, I can't remember which one's which now. I think that's the one that I was using. Okay, so I'm going to flick between these two. A couple of other extra tips for you is all-purpose I would definitely recommend for matting and layering anything that's cardstock or paper. All right. Tacky glue is more useful for things like adding embellishments, any kind of embellishment, whether it be ribbon, whether it be wooden embellishments, whether it's metal embellishments. You can actually use this. You can use it to stick things together, and I will show you that in a little while. But I'm going to come back just to the all-purpose glue for a second. And one of the things I like about this, and if you've used this before, you'll know what I mean about this. I'm just going to put, I've done it on the black card so that you can see that glue on there. I'm just going to put a little bit on there, as if I've made a mistake. I don't know whether we can just see that in the light. I've got a little dribble of glue on it, as if I've made a mistake. And the beauty of this one is if you just take this off, the excess off with your finger, and I've just got my old cloth here just to wipe it on, and then literally rub your finger over it, the tacky glue will actually rub away off your cardstock. Okay, it does work better when it's not quite so hot in here, because that's drying as soon as I've hit the cardstock, but you can see there's left a little bit of residue there where it's dried literally as soon as it's hit the card, but it will actually rub away completely. The only thing that this one's not so keen on is coated surfaces. So again, if I wanted to mat and layer maybe with some mirror card or something like that, or the glitter card, it's not so keen on a coated surface.
Does it not like to stick, Jan?
It doesn't. It can damage, because it's solvent based, it can interfere with things like the mirror surface on a shiny cardstock, or if it's on a Centura Pearl where you've got that extra coating on it, it can sometimes interfere with it. So I would then go back to my tacky glue, and I'm going to show you this on some Centura Pearl in a second or two. So yeah, if you're wanting to mat and layer something that's got a really nice shiny finish to it, then we're better off swapping back to the other glue. So I'm just going to finish that section on the two different glues there, and I've brought in, we've also got on the show some of that beautiful double, I think it's on this show, some, I'm getting confused now because I've been prepping a different show. We've got, if not this one, it's coming up on Monday when I'm back on Monday, but the double-sided Centura Pearl. And I love this for making boxes because you've got that lovely pearlescent shine on the inside as well as on the outside. So all I've done is cut myself a nice square to make a box with. Now, quite often when we're demoing, you've seen us, and I am guilty of this a lot, in using the red line tape to pop a box together. Absolutely perfect, and we'll come to this later on in the show. Now, I tend to use this when I'm demoing because I get an instant stick, and when we're on air, we only have so long to do a demo. When you're at home, you've got plenty of time to actually work with. So
Fred says you will not be stuck for answers after Jan's glue school. Absolutely you won't. Be the only thing you're not stuck for.
I'm actually going to come back to that tacky glue, and just on the tabs here, I'm going to squeeze a little bit out, and then I come in with my finger and just spread it out onto that surface. Now, the beauty of this one, we call it tacky because the best way to use it is actually to leave it for a few seconds and let it go tacky. So I'm literally going to come round and do all 4 of my tabs, and that will just leave it long enough for it to sort of start and cure a little bit, and it does go a bit more tacky.
Because I think the danger with this one is you stick it, you pop it down, and then you think you just stick it straight together, don't you?
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't stick, and you think, well, why not? You know, it's glue. Why is it not sticking? Have I done something wrong? And it's usually because it just takes those few seconds, as I say, to start to cure and go tacky, and you'll get a better stick with it. All right, so I'm going to do all 4 of the tabs, and by the time I've got around all 4 of them, that first one will be ready, it'll be good to go. The reason I'm smoothing it out is you'll know if you've done this yourself. Sometimes when you use a PVA glue onto a cardstock, particularly a shiny cardstock, if you've gone over and just gone with the glue, you'll see the lines through the card. As if it's got like a little trail under it. By smoothing it out like this, it actually stops that happening. So back to the beginning, I'm now actually going to pop these together, and I've just brought some paper clips along. I'm going to clip it just while it dries, and with the wet glue, it is worth just holding it in place. And all I do is just pop some paper clips on there, okay? So we're going to go round to the next one and do the same. Okay, don't stick it on your mat, Jan. Let me just separate these out for a minute. So literally pop it together. Takes about, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the area that you're working in, to actually set as such. Okay, so again, we're going to pop this one together. It is so warm in here, I can actually see this glue drying in front of me, which is not helping. Yeah, this is actually, I'm going to put some more on there. This is, would you believe that's nearly dry already?
It's mental, isn't it? I mean, it's just so hot today.
We're not used to it here in the UK, are we? I know some of you guys have had these kind of temperatures already, but here in the UK, it doesn't normally get this warm.
They're saying the roads might melt, Jan.
Oh my heavens.
The roads are going to melt.
I've seen a picture today of Tower Bridge in London, and they've actually got parts of it wrapped in foil to actually preserve the metal, because if the metal gets too hot, they don't want it to damage the structure of the bridge.
Well, that's bonkers,
I'm like,
isn't it?
whoa, that's a bit scary. Don't want anything happening there. Yes, some of this has actually started to dry. And again, I'm going to pop that to one side and leave that to actually settle, okay? So we're just going to we're going to have lots of sort of little bits going on where we can come back and have a look at them. So I'm leaving the 2 mats and layers, and I've got them in front of me here. I can actually see things happening already. We'll come back to that in a little while. But I think for those first sets of glue, that was the main bit between them. All right, so solvent based on your collal, all purpose, water based on your tacky glue, great for matting and layering on the all purpose glue, great for sticking embellishments and things like that with the tacky glue. In fact,
tacky glue is the one I have around the house if I just need a glue, you know, for sticking my shoe back together.
Yeah,
or,
I'm just going to bring
you know,
this
something
in.
breaks on something, you want to stick it back on. That's the one I tend to use for
that's right.
pretty much
Yep.
all those jobs around the house.
If I just bring you this in, I just went through my craft stash and grabbed loads and loads of anything that come under the heading of embellishments.
Wow.
So I've got lace trim here at the top, I've got some with pearls on, I've got some wooden elements here, cork, I've got the art straws there, paper flowers, I've got pearl embellishments, I've got buttons, resin, metal embellishments, including, I keep all my old door keys, just in case. I've got proper little fabric embellishments here, and these are all stuck on with the tacky glue.
That's fabulous.
Absolutely brilliant. Again, pop it on the back, leave it for those few seconds, and then actually stick it on. And this is just a piece of mount board. All right, and these, I actually did this for the last show, which my last show at doing this was over a year ago, and everything's still stuck.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Nothing's fell off, nothing's dried out and fell off. It is perfect for this kind of thing, just that little bit, and as I say, smooth it out where it needs it. So we're going to come back to those in a second, Joe. I'm going to leave that section there.
No worries.
And we'll come back to those in a little while and just check how they're doing.
Loads of people chatting away. Mary Rhino made me laugh. She says, I overdo the glue and the mayo. There you are. I definitely overdo the mayo, Mary, that is for sure. Candice, I've definitely been guilty of too much glue in the past, so really learning what is an appropriate amount. Kelly says, even though I like the other presenters, I love it when Jan does glue school and goes into full-on teacher mode. She has a knack of breaking things down where we can really understand the do's and the don'ts. Mary Beth says, even though I've watched her glue school before, I've already learned something. I hadn't been shaking my tacky glue and wondered why it was getting too thick. Always got to shake your tacky glue. There you go. What is the best kind of glue for vellum? Mimi wants to know, Jan.
I'm going to come to that. I've got that planned later. Yeah, stay tuned.
You will have
We're
to
going
wait
to cover
around.
that later on, yeah, because that is a tricky one, a tricky medium to work with. Yeah, so we'll cover that in a little while.
Best glue for ribbons?
Ribbons, I would go with the tacky glue, but again, very, very little amount.
Right.
Or you could use your red line tape will stick. If it's an organza ribbon that you can see through, then maybe the red line tape would work. If it's a satin ribbon or if it's grosgrain, something like that that's more solid, you can get away with the tacky glue. But what I would do is pop a little bit either on your mat or on a scrap of card and just smooth it along with your finger rather than going on with the bottle, because it does come out fast. I tend to decant the tacky into the little applicators because these have got a finer nozzle on, and I just sort of prefer the control that you've got just by, if you don't like the glue on your hands, an old-fashioned glue spreader, like you used to use at school, something like that would work brilliantly. Or you can buy paintbrushes that have got like silicone bristles in them, something like that, just to apply it rather than actually using your fingers. If if you've got anything that's sensitive that you don't like, I'm always covered in something or other, so I'm not happy unless I've got ink or glue or something all over me. But don't forget, this is a water-based glue, so even if you used a normal paintbrush, I've got several in here. Even if you just grabbed an ordinary paintbrush and applied it with your paintbrush, as long as you put this straight in water and give it a good rinse out, it won't damage your paintbrushes. It will if you did it with the Collal all-purpose, because remember this has got that solvent in, so you would need something like a white spirit to clean your brushes out. But because the white one is water-based, just a quick rinse out in your water and you're good to go.
Amazing. Lots of you chatting away, loads of people asking lots of questions, which is always lovely. Jack says, do you have to be in the USA to get a shout out? I'm in Stamford, Lincolnshire. What would you like a shout out for, Jack? That is the question. I mean, you can't just ask for a shout out for shout out's sake, can you, Jan? I mean, what sort of, what sort of turmoil would what sort of turmoil would our democracy turn into if we were just giving shout outs out?
I'll give you a shout out.
Willy-nilly, giving them out here and giving them out there. I mean, can't be doing that. Is there a way to clean smudge glue off the front of Miri card, asked Pamela.
Smudged glue off the front of Miri card. It depends what kind of glue it is. Again, going back to those roots again, it's not easy to get off the front of Miri card. What I would say is leave it to dry. Don't panic if it smudges onto it. We all do the same. It's like, oh, there's some on there, I'll rub it off. What you end up doing is rubbing it in and making it sort of like more visible. Let it dry and you've got more chance of actually getting it off. Now, you can, I have talked about these before and I've still not got around to getting one myself. Online, you can actually buy a glue eraser, and the ones I've seen have been a little square, and I'm sort of using my fingers here, about this big, yeah, so maybe about 2 inches square, and they almost look like a bar of soap. It's like, the ones I've seen are like a brown colour, like a bar of soap, but they are supposed to be excellent for removing adhesive from cardstock. As I say, every time we talk about it, I think, oh, I must get one of those, and I've still not got round to it, but I've seen people use them, and it does that. I don't know what's in them, but it does actually pick the glue off, but it is tricky with shiny cardstock, things like Miri cardstock. So it's about being careful in the first instance. And if you're really, really not sure about it, go to something like your tape runners or your finger lift tape. I sometimes revert back to my finger lift tape when on the roll, if I'm using something that's really shiny, just because I'm really heavy-handed, and I tell you all these tips, but I still do the same thing at home. Too much glue squeezes out the side, you think, oh, I've got to start again. So yeah, if you're really not sure about it, go to one of the dry forms of the glue instead.
Wonderful, hope that helps. I want to share with you a great deal on the interlace that we've got for you. These are brilliant. I love that we've even managed to get a few awesome deals for you on a masterclass show. So it's a 4-piece collection you've got here. We're going to get the Village Chapel. It's kind of like an edgeable meets a creator card with lots and lots of detail in them. So this one here is that one there is the Village Chapel. You've also then got as well the one I love, which is this one here. You will get Framed with Love, and you've then got Beautiful Birdcage as well, which is this one here. £39 or $49, saving you £40 or $50 there on those. The lovely Lynn says, hello Joe, Jan, CTV crew and social superstar, my crafty friends. Garden is watered, dog is walked, and gin is poured. Ready for my Friday evening with you guys. Sounds like you've got it absolutely sorted, Linny. It really does. Kay says, Jan, I've been teaching all my life. I absolutely love your teaching technique. You make learning so easy and so fun.
Thank you.
Deborah says, hi from sunny Lancashire. All-purpose glue is my absolute favourite. Mimi wants to know what sort of glue you'd use with the brand, that new heavy Christmas acetate, Jan.
I tend to use my red line tape with acetate more times than not. Yeah, depending on what you're doing, I've got a bit of a demo later which you can see some of the tape, but obviously there's tricks with that. You can pop a bit of card over it, you can pop some embellishment over it, but anytime I get acetate out, I nearly always use my red line tape. You can use wet glue with acetate, but obviously you can see through it, and there are tricks from the point of view if you have acetate in an aperture on your card and you stick something to the acetate, when you open the card you can see it through there. So all I tend to do, for example, if you've got an oval die cut and you've stamped a sentiment on it, cut a second oval so that when you open the card, stick the other oval behind it, and then it covers up all the workings of the foam pads or whatever you've used on the other side to stick it together, and actually neatens off the inside of it. But yeah, definitely a dry glue I think would be better on acetate.
Brilliant. Always good to know. I've got another glue collection to tell you about. It's like the Holy Trinity, isn't it? We've got here your 3D glue gel, which is well, it's like a silicone glue, but it's not whiffy, which is good. You get that with the tools and a refill, 2 of the all-purpose and 2 of the tacky as well. This is probably the 3 that people use the most, Jan, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Yes, I think probably top 3 there as far as like a wet glue's concerned, because even though that third one's a gel, it is still wet, it needs and when I refer to something being wet, I mean that it needs a drying time, as opposed to things like your tape pens, your red line tape and your finger lift tape that doesn't. Obviously that's dry as soon as it hits the card. So I would put the glue gel in the same category as the 2 wet glues that we've used, which is why we've popped them in together. So just before we go on to that, I'm going to show you how to fill the syringe with the 3D glue gel if you haven't seen it before, but I just want to bring these back in. They are drying nicely. This was the all-purpose, all right, and look how nice and neat. Look how nice and straight. If I get that right to the edge of the camera, yep, it's perfectly flat. Are you ready for this? This is my PVA tacky glue, okay? Doesn't look too bad there. You can just see a bit of something going on here, but if I lift it up, just look how curved it is.
Ah, yes.
And then look at the back. Look at all the dimpling. If I turn you this one over, can you see where it started soaking in? This one's perfectly flat, nothing. This one, you've got all that dimpling on the back. And that's the difference between, I'll show you them again later on, because the more they dry, the more pronounced it gets. But that's the difference between the 2. The solvent glue hasn't soaked in. It's made an extra layer between the 2 mediums, so between my cardstock and my paper, and it dries. The other thing about this is it dries rock solid. It's almost like having another layer of paper underneath it. So if you're doing construction and things like that, where you're bringing in sort of 3D boxes and things like that, gift boxes, it's some people refer to it as construction glue because it is solid when it's set. It's sometimes referred to as rubber cement. And it is fit for that purpose, whereas this one is starting to look very sorry for itself. It's wrinkled my card on top. It's definitely got all that dimpling on the back. So if this was the inside of your card, it's not going to look very attractive. And again, as I say, look how wonky it's gone already. And it's not even properly dry yet. So we'll come back to those later again. The box is drying nicely. But what I actually wanted to do now was show you how to fill the little syringe that comes. So the kit, the box kit comes with what we call the tools, and then you'll get one of them that's just the glue on its own. So in the box there, you've got your tube of glue, okay? You've got what I call the corned beef key. So any of you that eat corned beef, you'll know what I mean with this, yeah? And then you get your syringe. There should be in there, and I can't see it. There should be a little lid in there as well, which is...
A little what, sorry, Jan?
A little lid like this. A little yellow lid. Yeah? I'll use this one anyway, but there should be, I'll double check that. It may be that it's come out when we've opened the box, but yeah, there should be a cap for the syringe. You can see the difference there, yeah? Okay. And then you get the fine tip nozzle, all right? Because the actual piece on the end of here is actually got the, quite a wide
I think
space.
You've got the wrong one, Jan. I think you've got the silicone glue.
That's what I was given. Mine isn't silicone.
No.
Is it just a normal 3D colour?
Yeah, so that one you're holding in your left hand,
yeah,
that's a different one.
Right.
That's not the same. That's not the same one.
That's what I was given. I'll flick over to mine then. I'll just put that to one side. What the difference on these?
Hang on, unless I'm mistaken.
He's having a look now.
Oh gosh, here we go.
We've got that many.
What number? The essential Collao. Which one are we? We're on the Collao Odorless 3D glue collection.
If it's odorless, it should be the non-silicone one.
Yeah, we're not even on the one. I thought we were still on this collection here. Yes, it's not that one, Janet. It's the regular 3D odorless one. Yeah.
I'll explain the difference just to sort of alleviate any confusion. It's exactly the same glue. It does exactly the same thing. Just that one of them's got silicone in and one of them doesn't. They look very, very similar. The tubes are slightly different. You can see the difference in them there. And it does state here that it has got silicone in it. A little bit of an odour with the silicone one. And I just think I prefer the one without, which is why we've called it odourless. But what I was saying was it's got quite a large nozzle on here. So if you're wanting to do fine tip work, this will screw straight onto the end of your tube there. So that, and then you just snip the top off here with your scissors and you've got that fine tip applicator again. So what I wanted to do was show you how to actually fill the silicone tube, the syringe. This comes to you empty, and literally all we're going to do is just take the plunger, if it'll let go of it, crikey, there we go, out of the end, and the end of the syringe is the perfect size for your glue to fit into. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hold that in place and then squeeze the glue, she says. Don't tell me that's dried up as well now. I'm not having a good night, am I?
You're all bunged up, Jan.
That's not my glue, that's why. Oh, do you know, I'm going to have words with this crew, giving me all this one's mine. Okay, here we go, look.
Someone not
checking
it to the end.
So again, pop here, and then you can just see that glue filling into the tube. So all I'm going to do, and this is why we've popped you the key in here as well, so that if you want to use this on the bottom, just slide it onto the bottom of the glue. Now mine's misbehaving because I use it without the key, but here we go. Thread this through the gap at the bottom. You will go through the gap. What's going on? There we go. And then use this just like you used to with the old corned beef tin, and it will help to squeeze that glue up out of the tube. So again, you know, if you've got dexterity problems or things like that, it does help with this. So again, I'm going to pop that back onto here, hold it with my fingers and just keep turning this until that glue, and you want to fill, whoops, the syringe completely. Okay, so literally just keep squeezing until we've got that. Do you know, this isn't, I don't know what's going on.
Is it because you've got your end on, Jan? It's because you've got the cap on your syringe.
Is it?
I think you take your cap off, you're getting a bit of a pressure.
Have I got a blockage? Is that why?
I think so.
Do you know, let me just grab one of those.
You're having your very own glooper.
I'm having I love it. A glooper. That might be why, because I've not took the end off it. I'd started off with the other one. Honestly, you can't get the help, can you? We're making a good mess of this tonight. Here we go, look. Back in here. For some reason, it's got halfway down the tube. Do you know, I think a lot of this is because it's so warm, everything's drying.
It is so warm in here this evening.
Drying instantly. I'm just going to try with the other tube. I've got myself in a right old state now. Just bear with me a second while I get some...
No worries at all. Lots of people are chatting away. Joy says, when I goof with my glue, I pop on another element to cover it up. A leaf, a butterfly, anything will do. A great glue roundup, says Janet. Susan says, these tips are all great. I've learned so much already. Tansy Pansy says, brilliant tip as always. Janet's fantastic at explaining things. Sharon says, all of your glues are wonderful. I just have to remind myself which one to use for different purposes. And Kay says, a smudge that you can't get off calls for a butterfly. Absolutely.
It sure does. Butterfly for a lady, a star for a gent. I don't know what was wrong with that other syringe. I've gone to the other one now, and this is filling up nicely. You can see that glue moving down the tube there. I know it's not easy to see on screen, but you can just see it moving down. Just literally keep squeezing until it goes all the way down to the bottom of the tube. So we're just about at the bottom there, and then you're actually going to pop your plunger back into the end and literally push that glue into the end of the tube. All right, so we've got one end sealed now. My plunger's made contact with the glue at this end, and the one thing that this glue doesn't like is air. The minute the air gets to it, and I think that's what's happening in here now, it starts to dry. Okay, and if it dries in your tube, you're pretty much done for. So in order to stop that happening, work from the bottom of your tube and press the glue as far as you can, and then I'm just going to pop it on the back of here so that you can see. Can you see that glue coming out of the end of the tube there? Yep. And then make contact with your lid. So there's no air exposed now, there's no air trapped in there. It's made contact with that lid, and it should be good to use next time. If you don't do that and there's air in the end of the tube, then it's going to set, and as I say, it's not really retrievable. The same applies with your syringe. All right, so once you've got this at the ready, I'm going to keep pushing until we get that little tiny bead of glue come out of the end there. Can you just see?
Yep, you see that?
And then I'm going to put the cap on. So that is literally making contact with the cap. So it's
Susan
sealed
says,
at
how
this
long can
end.
you store it in the syringe like that, how you've just shown us there for, Jan?
It should last you indefinitely like this, okay? The minute you get air in here, again, it will start and dry in the syringe. So my top tip for this is if you've used this during the day and you've maybe got down to, you know, maybe just half an inch left in the bottom, refill it, take your plunger out and refill it before you finish for the day, so that you've got this end sealed with the plunger, this end sealed with the cap, and then this should be good to go the following day, the day after, until, and when you use it again, keep refilling, and so that each night when you leave it, you've got a full syringe. And that's the best way of getting the most out of your glue. And this is what we normally use with decoupage and things like that. So I'm actually going to go on to do the decoupage demo, Joe. I don't know whether there's anything you want to catch up on in between.
No, I'm okay if you are.
Okay?
Lynn says, I know it's weird, but I love filling the wee syringe. Oh, the small syringe. Sorry, I wonder where we're going there. The wee syringe. It's so satisfying not getting any on your fingers.
That's me who's just made a heck of a mess of it, yeah. I got it everywhere then, yeah. We're having terrible trouble, as I say, with the heat at the minute. It's all the studio lights and everything.
So that details on your screen are for the 3D call-out odorless collection.
That's right.
And you are getting in there one set of with the tools, and you're getting 2 extras of the refills in that particular one. So that's what you are getting there with that. So you're going to get 1 with the tools, 2 without the tools, which is excellent. So that was the item we were just looking at. We are going to move on, and we are going to have a little look at the decoupage, which Jan is going to share with us next, which is this here. These are so popular whenever we bring these to you. They're just really cool. So what you've got is a decoupage pad, which is 48 sheets. So, and there you've got all your floral items numbered. So in the purest form, all you need to do is take your dies, lay your dies over your flowers, cut them out and you're good to go. The other thing that's lovely is if you want to stamp them yourself, once the pad's gone, stamp these out and then use the die to cut them out too. So you've got lots of options. You can see here, this is what it's going to look like from the pad. This is what it looks like if you're choosing to colour it up yourself. They're brilliant, and also snap them up while they're a half price, because you're saving almost £13 or $18, and that is precisely what you are paying. Some brilliant deals for you in this masterclass show. These are just really nice to do, aren't they, Jan?
They are. They're a really nice one for all crafters, you know, not just, I was going to say that they're nice for a beginner crafter, but I mean, I've been crafting years, as you know, and I love having a play with these. And the minute I saw this particular collection, my mind jumped straight to November. And I know a lot of you make remembrance cards and things like that. And it was sort of like, it's only July, but again, you know, get it while it's on offer, get in advance of yourself. There are other ranges. We've just got the poppies on tonight, but there are other flowers in the range. So yeah, I've got the 3 items there. I've got the pad, like Joe said, there are 48 sheets. They're all the same, so you don't get a different one. They're all the same. But again, this gives you the opportunity to make so many projects. Then you get the metal die set. And if you were watching on Wake Up Call this morning, we actually use the dies. And they're basically shaped to fit around all the decoupage. You can see that this covers perfectly. Okay, it's all numbered. And on your metal, you've got a little tiny, sort of almost like an extra piece here on each piece, and that actually lines up. If you pop that over the number here and then line the rest of it up with the outside, you're going to get that cut out perfectly. And that's what we did. If you didn't see Wake Up Call this morning, if you have a look back, we actually cut out the decoupage and we built it up, and we used foam pads with this one, and this is what we made. I actually stuck it together after the show, and I just used a tiny wee bit of glossy highlights in the centre of the flowers there, just to add a little bit more detail. But that was stacked with the foam pads. You can see there, got the little foam pads in between. Now also in this kit you get the stamped element as well. So if you like stamping and colouring, you've got the same design, okay, in a stamp. And yes, that big die here that we've just looked at fits exactly over the stamp. It's almost as if it's all been planned out, and you can cut that one out too. Now what I did with this, I've done the stamping and colouring earlier on in the day, because it does take a little while with it. And what I've done is I've stamped it out in its entirety, and started colouring it in. You can see there, that's the stamp, and that's it coloured, okay? And then I started thinking, right, I want to decoupage this. So I stamped again, and this time I've just cut the 3 flower heads out, which would be exactly the same as if we were working with the die itself. So this one's going to go over the top. Now you can see my colouring change as I go along. This one was just a flat red colour, because very little of this is going to show in the end. And then this time I've just made all the detail on this bottom flower, because the next layer is going to cover this one. So I've started to bring in the next flower, and the final layer is going to come, and you can see
I love
that
your
all
colouring
coloured
with the preserved highlight there. It's
the
really
little
lovely way of
highlight,
doing
yeah.
it.
So what we're going to do with this one then is actually pop this together with the silicone glue. So using the little syringe that we've just filled, and what that allows you to do is start and shape these pieces, and I particularly like this. It gives it a little bit more feel. I think. So flowers are not flat, so what I do is just rub my finger underneath it, and you can see how it starts to curve those pieces, okay? And I'm literally going to do that on all 3, not the base one. I'm going to keep the base one flat. Okay, you can see this is normal. I've used my alcohol pens to colour with, so you can see that bleed through on the back. And then I'm going to take my little tip off here, and I'm just going to pop some little blobs of that, as long as it's not dried, here we go, in the centres here. And the more you put on, the more height you will get on your project. So it depends how decoupage you want it to be, you know, whether you're doing it for yourself, for a home decor item. If you're doing it on a card, you might want it to be a little bit flatter. But I'm literally just popping that onto the pieces here at the back. And then, like I said, make sure that you get that little bit of glue as if it's leaking before you pop the cap back on. And then you've got both of these parts sealed. It should still be good to go. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to layer these up now on top of those pieces at the bottom. And again, all I've done here is just re-stamped it, and I've fussy cut right up to the line art. The die leaves you that beautiful white edge round it, you can see there, to set it off as a main piece. Now you might just want to use that one piece, absolutely fine. But then I've cut with my scissors right around the flowers so that these will go straight over the top. And I just want that glue to make contact with the card underneath. I've not pressed it down flat. I'm just going to sort of let it make contact and leave it there. So again, we're going to put that next layer on. Just let that glue make contact with the layer underneath. And then lastly, we're going to pop that top one. Now you can do the same with the leaves. I chose to leave the leaves just flat on this particular one. And then again, this takes about 20 to 30 minutes to what I call touch dry. So this will be good to put on a card in about 30 minutes time. If you're going to pop it on a card and send it in the mail, I would leave it overnight. I really would. It needs that time to sort of cure and actually go off so that it's rock solid. So yeah, if you're just using it at home and you're popping it on something that's not going anywhere, about 30 minutes or so. And again, like I did with the one this morning, I'd just got that little plaque, you know, just to highlight it. I'm not going to make these into cards today because obviously I've got such a lot to show you. But yeah, you know, just something as simple as that, literally on the front of a card. But you can see the difference there just between the depth of colour in the paper pad and then the decoupage. And then I actually did one from the paper pad, just decoupage. This is actually one that's set from the paper pad using the 3D glue. So if I lift you this one up again, can you see how that's sort of stacked flat, whereas this one, you've got that shaping. Again, there's no right or wrong with this. It's about preference. You know, some people are happy with the foam pads, so just using the foam pads off your carrier sheet and stacking them up. Some people like to use the 3D glue, perfect for this particular purpose. So that's on that one. I'm just going to pop those back in there out of the way. I'm going to leave that one to dry. And I just want to, just very quickly before we move on, Joe, I'm just going to come back to these again because literally it's not getting any better at all. So again, look at this. This is the all-purpose.
Right.
Perfectly
nice and flat.
Look at that. Perfectly flat. This one is my
oh dear
PVA. It started lifting at the corner here. It's still all dimpled on the back. It's not going to get any better as it dries. And it was just a perfect way of showing you that for matting and layering, your all-purpose works much, much better. I get a lot of people ask, why does my paper ruttle when I stick it together? And it's purely the water content in the PVA glue that seeps into the fibres of the cardstock. And once it's in there, it doesn't matter. I've tried putting this under books. When I first started crafting, I've tried running it through the Gemini, and you think it's flattened out, and then after a few minutes it all starts, I call it snurping. It all snurps up on the corners, look. It's in a right, I wouldn't want to put that on the front of any card. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, really does sort of show it off well. And then my little box, I think is just about dry now. I'm going to take the paper clips off here. And I just put the other piece together very quickly so that we've got the two pieces together. That's the base there. And again, you know, bring that one in that we've just done. And you can see how things slowly start to fit together. Beautiful. To make sort of your gift boxes and things like that. You could decorate the edges of it with some pattern paper. Absolutely beautiful. So that is mainly your 3D glue gel. Okay?
Brilliant. Make sure you are snapping that up. If you want to go for the Precious Poppies decoupage, it is available for you right now. This is what you're going to get. You get the pad, of course, the dies and the stamps as well there. £13 or $18 if you want to get a hold of those. And then, of course, the 3D glue gel is what we're using with that. You get one of the set with the tools, and you will get two of the refills as well. So one set with the tools and two with the refill. I'll give you the details for the 3D glue gel as well. I'm just going to give you the details for the 3D glue gel. Here it comes. Here it is, £13, $21, saving you over 15%, $10.40 or $16.80 is your price there on that. Jan, what can we expect from the second instalment of Glue School in just over an hour's time?
We're going to continue with the rest of the glue. So we're actually going to bring in the tape pens after the Hunkydory section. We're going to bring in the red line tape after that as well, and then I've got a little trick to show you with the hot glue gun as well, which I don't think I've seen before. I discovered this and I was watching someone on a video do it. I can't take credit for it. I thought, wow, why have I never thought of that? You're going to love it, Joe. You'll love it. You'll see why when we get to it. I'm not giving anything away.
Oh, look at you being all cryptic. Right, let's take a break then, I think is the best thing to do, because we will be back for the last instalment of Hunkydory on the other side of this. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Whilst that's happened, let's share with you all the details of Club Inspire. Take a look.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila! An amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick buy. Get yours now. Quick buy. All your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Make your die cutting tools last as long as your love for crafting with the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates. Your metal dies are put under lots of pressure with each pass through your Gemini die cutting machine. So to make sure they cut crisp, clean, delicate designs for years to come, you need to look after your dies, and that's where the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates come in.
Quick buy. Get yours now. Quick buy. All your crafty must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick buy. All your crafty must-haves in a flash.
All your crafty must-haves in a flash, indeedly doodly. Right, we're going to be back with and talking about all things hunky-dory. But first off, I need to let you know, if this is in your basket, 'twas the night before Christmas storybook, get rid of it. Take it out because it is sold out and gone. Congratulations if you got a hold of that. The perfect pad that we had here as well, the picture perfect pad. If that's in your basket, I'm afraid you need to take it out because it has sold out and gone. If you have got the adorable scoreable, I think you're doing a little bit better with the stock of the adorable scoreable and the 'twas the night. This is still in stock, so if you want to go for this, it works brilliantly with the 'twas the night collection that we looked at, but also brilliant on its own as well as a sort of general stash builder. And at these kind of prices, you can afford to just get it as a stash builder too. $9.99 or $14.49 is your price there on that. Lots of questions still coming in left over from the glue school. We'll hang on to those and we'll pop them across to Jan in about an hour's time when we go back to glue school. Remember, you are still getting your free gifts on absolutely everything you're seeing here on Crafters TV. Every order is going to get these very snazzy snowflakes in there. They are foiled and die cut, and they are all going to be in there for you, so make sure you're getting your orders in. Don't forget double points. We're going to add the last name onto that nice list, and we're also going to give that £500 or dollar spend away. Ooh, I know, good doing, Natalie, good doing. But she is back with me for the final instalment. What a day we have had.
It's been so busy,
with this.
hasn't it?
Half the stock of
Crazy.
the Ultimate Collection and the Blockbuster have both gone. We'll give you the details for the Ultimate Collection straight off because that is the most popular way of getting hold of these new items. Here it is, $67.99 or $97.99. So many of you have gone for this already today. Whatever way you're going for it, however you're getting it, you're going to get all of these brilliant toppers, aren't you?
Absolutely all of them. In total, 96 sheets of A4 cardstock here.
That's amazing.
And 32 of them have these beautiful die cut and foil toppers on. This is our biggest collection of the year. We always look forward to this because everyone loves it as much as we do. We kind of divide our kit into four. So you've got traditional, you've got contemporary, you've got fun, and then snowy. This one is our traditional one, and it is traditional Christmas. You've got beautiful gold foiling throughout the whole of this. We've got textured foiling in some of these kits as well, which makes it a little bit different.
This is something I haven't really seen that often, but I've not seen this before, I don't think. Especially even here on these very like thin, delicate frames it's got it on as well.
It's a really nice sort of geometric pattern in that one there. Really, really beautiful. And then we've got, obviously, the gold foiling looks gorgeous, but done in that way, it's just spectacular. You've got decoupage in here as well for your decoupage lovers, or maybe you just want to try it out, then this is the chance because you've got this kit. But you've got, this is just one half of our traditionals. You've got coordinating cardstock to go alongside all of it there as well. The second half, you've got more of a religious theme. You've got the classic Santa here. This is Coca-Cola Santa if I've ever seen it.
And also, what's the film where it's got not It's got Richard Attenborough in it. What's that one?
Which one?
David Attenborough's brother, Richard Attenborough. He plays Santa in one of the films. Anyone know at home? 50-something Street?
Oh, Miracle on
54th Street?
maybe?
I think that's the one. It's
something
that
around
Christmas.
the 50s. He is that Father Christmas. And then you've got obviously the 12 Days of Christmas. This is lovely for anyone who likes to make advent calendars as well. So you can.
It's got a bit of an Eastern European vibe, isn't it?
It does. I love the artwork in here. It reminds me of those clocks as well that you see in the Christmas markets that have loads of like working people on. It's really, really fun. That I love it. So that's your second half of Christmas traditions. You're getting all of this, and we're only a quarter of the way through.
All of this. It's really is mad.
Follow Yonder Star, another one that has foiling, textured foiling in, so it's a little bit special rather than the sort of plain foiling.
It's almost like it's been it's got gilding flakes on this one,
It looks like that, doesn't it? It's very, very special, and I love the cardstock here as well with the
so much foiling on it.
People across it. It's absolutely gorgeous. You've got foiled borders, you've got foiled stars, you've got foiled details all the way through this house, and when you look really closely, when we were saying it earlier on, these houses and where it's foiled has like Christmas trees in, lights on. It just brings the whole artwork to life. It's gorgeous.
The level of detail really is spectacular.
Blue foiling as well there on the piece on earth with the lovely dove. The second half of this, you have another decoupage sheet with the beautiful poinsettia, a cozy Christmas with the incredible sort of like VW camper van. It's really, really cool. This again is another incredible piece of cardstock here.
I love all the fairy lights around the trees. It's like being a little boutique festival, isn't it? A Christmas boutique festival.
Them here. You've got them in your border strip. You've got them in your foiled borders. You've got them encapsulated everywhere, and even in your foil cardstock too across the edges. And that's what's beautiful, is that everything is thought of so well, and it all works together amazingly, and it makes the most beautiful cards. Christmas cocktails is a really fun one with the mince pie cocktail there, the Christmas pudding, sorry, and then we've got festive sparkle, which is just beautiful with the sort of like, they look like they're floating in the sky, these ballerinas. They're just stunning.
It's almost like they've got the sort of the stars and everything floating around them, which is super
really cool. Snowy Days is our real sort of like traditional Christmas. There's snow on absolutely everything in this collection, and you can really see that when you look at the plain cardstock here. It's just covered in snow. Again, you've got more traditional feels. You've got one that celebrates the Jubilee, which is really lovely. You've got more kind of everyday winter ones as well, with some of these, like the birds, because that could be used for an anniversary or a wedding or anything around that time. And then you've got another decoupage sheet as well, which looks really lovely, because this one actually goes onto like a decoupage tag, so you could have that on your card, or
almost looks like it might play nicely with the
other one,
with Santa's here from the earlier collection as well.
You can mix and match them, which is really great as well. And then the next four we have for you from this one, you've got Merry Christmas to You, which has the sheep on it there. You've got the lovely donkey in Seasons Tweetings, and then this robin image that sort of, you get snapshots of each of them in there. It's really, really nice. Where are we up to now? 4, 5, 6, your 7th one in this collection has texture foiling, and this time it's little snowflakes, which when you look really closely are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, we said earlier, didn't we, how it almost looks and feels like it's been embossed onto the foiling. It's amazing how it
reminds me of the film Jack Frost, this one as well.
Yes, definitely.
It has
got
that
real
feel to it. Lovely feel. And then obviously, and I know that some people have mentioned this, The Holiday.
Yes, The Holiday,
I love that film. But it's just so idyllic. You could imagine, you just want to be there. If you're going to stay at a cottage at Christmas, it is this cottage. It's gorgeous. Again, your cardstock throughout works perfectly with each topper set. And then this is the last one. This is Christmas Cuties, and you can tell already it's so much fun. It's a lot more vibrant. There's lots going on. So we've got Perfect Christmas, which has your little pooches on. Is It Christmas Yeti, with a very fun Yeti, and you've got the holographic foiling in this one
that's
as well.
really cool. This foiling's really different, isn't it?
It makes it so different. You could have put that with silver foiling, but having that with that that sort of texture throughout it, with all the different colours you've got in the lights, it just really, really works. Jingle All the Way is a sort of traditional artwork style, but in a very, very cute way. And then you have Merry Christmas, which takes it completely the opposite way, because that artwork is really traditional, but just very, very cute. And then our final four, we have a Mooey Christmas with the Highland cattle there and all the robins surrounding him. We've got Pick of the Penguins, which is super, super fun. I said earlier, I could imagine that those penguins have been knitting those jumpers for themselves. Yeah. And then Polar Bear Hugs, you've got the gorgeous teal foil in there. Very, very sweet polar bear imagery as well. And finally, Snow Much Fun. You have so much included in these topper sets though. Like just looking at these here, there's barely space left on these
No, there isn't,
sheets.
is there? And I mean, every
it's
single bit.
jam-packed full with sentiments.
Like even the amount of frames that are in here.
Yeah.
Like, what else this? You got to throw onto 3 separate elements within there, and that's. Well, I know this is what you guys do so well. That quality,
It's
but also
incredible, isn't it?
Making sure you get so much jam-packed into there as well. Let's just put
Ready?
those back up
There we
to
go.
there. So no matter which option you're going for, whether you're going for the Ultimate or for the Blockbuster, you
Yeah.
are going to get all of those included. Did you want to go and get set up for your
let's
first
go.
demo? Now, there is a smaller collection. Well, so the Blockbuster, I'm going to give you the deals for the Blockbuster first. So the Blockbuster is everything you've just seen there on the boards, plus this crafting magazine. So I'll give you the details for that. That's one option for you. Over half the stock has gone here on both options. So the Blockbuster gets you the toppers I've just shared with you, and then also the magazine, full of inspiration, and you're able to make everything in this magazine as well across the topper collections that you are seeing here too. So that there, details on your screen, gets you the toppers and the magazine. Far and away the most popular item though is the Ultimate Collection. So I'm going to change those details back for you and I'll share with you what else you are getting in here. You are getting all of your different inserts in here. So inserts, 16 inserts for each one of those collections, which is brilliant. So this one here is your Christmas cuties. Again, you can see all of that imagery is pulled through into these inserts. This one here is your Christmas traditions that you've got. And again, I think that they are beautiful, these inserts. I'm just going to spin that around that way. There we go. The inserts are beautiful. I mean, you don't even need to use them within here if you don't want to. They actually might just make lovely. I actually thought some of the landscape portrait ones actually would make lovely paper just to write on at Christmas as well. If you wanted to write little letters to people. Another great way of using them. I think you'll find so many different ways of using these particular inserts, whether it is in the inside of the projects, which is a great way to do it, or away and using them in a different way. Love how muted it is. Love that you're able to stamp over these if you want to, because of course they are all totally uncoated, which is brilliant. Let me share with you. What?
Oh my goodness.
Might as well go home, haven't we? I'm only joking. So the Ultimate, I had no idea this was going to happen. The Ultimate has sold out. It has completely sold out and gone. So the Ultimate has gone. Right. The Blockbuster is still available. Honestly, I knew it was busy out there. I didn't realise it was this busy out there. The Blockbuster is still available. So the Blockbuster is everything we just shared with you in the toppers, and also absolutely everything that's in the magazine here as well. Details are going to change on your screen back to the Blockbuster. So let's bring those Blockbuster details back in. And here they come. It's $44.99 or $64.99. Still a great deal. Still saving you $40.96.
It's an amazing deal.
Yeah,
when you
or
think about it.
$59.64.
It's incredible.
It's an incredible deal. Right. I guess we've got to have a think about what we're going to do for the rest of the hour now as well. But let's go. Any questions you've got, please get them into me. Loads and loads of you are talking about everything, of course, Hunkydory as well. I'll get through some of these comments shortly. If you've got any questions specifically, then please, of course, get them across to me. But we're going to go back over to Natalie for our first demo. Where would you like to start?
So we're starting with the Blockbuster. And we're going to do Christmas traditions this time. I'm going with the Coca-Cola Santa. I love, love, love this image. It's just so fun. So I've got a 5x7 cardstock, card blank, and it opens this way. What we're going to do is create like a swing card. So I've already cut one panel off from here. I'm going to line the other one up to 1.5. I'm going to stretch my cardstock out as well, just so I don't cut all the way through it. So line it up to 1.5 inches, and then we're going to cut through. And then I'm going to turn it over, line it up to the 5-inch mark, and then we're going to cut down that score line. And this is just going to take away that section of the card. And once we've done that, we can then do the rest of our card. So this is our foil cardstock. Beautiful panel up here, but we're going to change the look of this completely. I'm going to cut this down to just under, I'm going to go to 2/8 of an inch, just under that mark, and we'll do exactly the same again. Just 2/8 of an inch under that 1.5, and then I'm going to cut these down. We'll line them on top just to save the cutting, and we're going to cut those again just 2 under the 5. So we've got our panels now, and then with this piece here, I'm going to cut this down to 5x7. So let's just take that there, turn that around, pop that on there, and then we can build this card up. So I'm going to now tape this to the inside of my card. I will use our fingerless tape to do that. I think what I want to do as well is have these larger snowflakes falling down. So I'm going to stick that towards the score line of the card, like so. And then making sure that these still fall down, we can add these onto our mirror that I've got ready, which is the correct size. So just take the tape off there, layer that onto our mirror card.
Printing a Christmas letter on the inserts would be lovely, says
would
Rose.
be really nice.
So I should let you know then, so I'm guessing the Christmas inserts and the little book that goes with the Christmas collection, available individually. I believe it's the Adorable Scoreable, which is the element that has sold out that big collection. So you could go for the blockbuster, and then you could add some of the other elements in if you wanted to. Still a way to go.
That would be a really good way of doing it, wouldn't it? And still getting some of those extra elements that you love.
The blockbuster that's on your screen is 2/3 gone now, with a lot of that sat in baskets at the moment. So if this is what you're going for, please be quick for that. The inserts and the little book that go along with the Christmas collection, they're 70% sold out. As well. I will give you the individual details for the individual items in a little while. I know it sounds a little bit confusing at this point, but I'll take you through it shortly.
So now I'm going to take my border strip and just create like a little space where these two are going to come together. So if I just add my tape to the very end panel, because we know that's going to stick onto this piece here, and we're kind of like piecing it back together doing this. But it's also just going to give you a little bit more strength and stability. And then I'll just take another small piece of tape and then layer that where I know it's going to line up. And peel that away. Stick that down, and then we can trim that off the front. And then we can add our topper in place onto here. So what I'm going to do, because this topper is quite large actually, we might need an extra helping hand. And to do that, I think it's sold out. So if you did get it, well done to everyone. I'm just going to add in a piece of acetate. So let's just pop this on the inside of here now. We can line that up and stick that down, because that's now going to allow us to be able to, just got a little die cut on there, to stick our frame onto here. So I'm going to do that with, let's do it with our skinny strip foam pads. Let's just get those. Here we go. We'll pop this around, and I love using strip foam pads on our toppers because you can just work them around the shape and it fills it up so nicely, and it just allows you to stick that whole section down so easily. So popping that on there, and then we can take that backing off. Stick this in the center of our card, and then our topper we can then add to the middle. And if you want to hide your workings, because you are going to obviously be able to see this, you can draw around a piece of sort of like scrap card and pop that in there. And then
just to let you know as well, Natalie, sorry to interrupt.
It's fine.
Limited stock on that Christmas little book is now limited stock. If you want that, yeah, there's a handful left to go around. If it's in your basket, please check this out. So if that's on its own, you need to make sure you are checking it out. Details are there. The 7th little book of Christmas is about to go any moment. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's fine. Just added a tiny little sentiment onto the corner of my card there, which says, "What did you wish for this Christmas?" And then there you are.
Brilliant, absolutely gorgeous. What a lovely, lovely creation you have done there. Honestly, I'm trying to keep up. Jamie, my producer's trying to let me know what's going at what speed. I mean, it'll soon be a case of what we do have left. So the blockbuster, remember then, let's give you those details again for the blockbuster. I'm going to very quickly run through exactly what you are getting included in that blockbuster. You are getting the 4 different collections within here, which is brilliant. So this one here first is your traditional that you are looking at. So you're going to get all of these ones, and then you're getting all of these designs too. So you've got Joy's the World, Santa's here. You've also got your Santa's on his way, which is this one up here, and you're getting the 12 days of Christmas as well. So you're getting all of that collection within there, which is brilliant. You are then getting your festive style being the more sort of modern contemporary collection with the following: Yonder Star, The Merry Christmas My Dear, Peace on Earth and Snowing in the City. And you've also got, of course, printed and foiled card and printed card, which goes with every single one of the themes in these collections. The second element of this festive style is this one here. So you've got a blooming lovely Christmas, which is your poinsettias, that lovely cosy Christmas with the camper van here. Christmas cocktails, yes please, absolutely delicious. Doesn't have to be Christmas to have cocktails, you know, Natalie. Have them any time you like, which is brilliant. You've then got the festive sparkle here too. And then we move into snow days, the most traditional of all the collections. So we've got the lovebirds here with the robins, greetings of the seasons, which is that Jubilee themed one. Father Christmas there with the decoupage element, and of course Christmas blessings over there. Next up, we then move into this one, your winter hideaway, which is this one here, loving all that beautiful foiling. You've got snowman kisses, seasons tweetings here with the donkey and the robin, and also Merry Christmas to you there. And then finally we move into the cute Christmas collection, which is our Christmas cutesy. So we've got Merry Christmas in here, Jingle All the Way. Of course, you're getting the foiled and the printed with this as well. You've got Is It Christmas Yeti there, and a perfect Christmas, which is this one here. And then finally, we also have this one, which is So Much Fun, Polar Bear Hugs, Pick of the Penguins, and Merry Christmas. Now, was it 96 sheets in total there in your toppers?
96 sheets in total,
so
yeah.
Don't even take into account the fact that you're getting the magazine included as well. Just on the toppers, those 96 sheets, it's less than 50 pence a sheet for the quality that you are getting. So you're going to get everything I've just shared with you, and then what you're also going to get is that magazine, which is packed full of inspiration. You're going to be able to make all of the different projects that are in here. I've got to go back to that one. Isn't that a stunner? I absolutely love that project just there. Really, really cool with your festive style. But you are going to be able to make all of this. You've got double-sided papers on the inside of here as well, which is brilliant. So that is your blockbuster. Now, if you are quick, you may be able to go for the inserts as well. Just give the individual details on the inserts that went with the Ultimate Bundle. Is these ones over here. So let's start with Christmas Cuties. So the inserts are still available on their own. If you want to go for the Christmas Cuties, you can. You've got 16 sheets in each of these. So you can, to a degree, compile your own bundle. So they are your Christmas Cuties inserts. You'll get 16 of those within there. Details are there on your screen. I don't think that's those. I think that's the Christmas Cuties on it. So that's the Christmas Cuties as a smaller collection. So it's the Christmas Cuties inserts I think we're looking for. So you can go for those individually. They are, let me have a little look at those. So you can go for those on their own.
All 4 individually, Joe.
Sorry?
I think you get all 4 sets individually.
All 4 sets together individually. So all the inserts
All of them.
individually, all together. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can find that one. So that will be your insert collection. We will find them. So yes, number 8, the bumper Christmas insert multi-buy. That's what you need to go for. The bumper Christmas insert multi-buy, and that will get you these. Here it comes.
There we go.
There it is. 144 sheets. So it will get you these. It will get you these, which are these inserts here, and it will get you then your festive style and your snow days. It won't get you 144 sheets. So I don't know where we have where we've invented that from. Do you?
64, isn't it?
64 sheets.
144 sheets. Maybe it's got mixed up with the little book.
Yes, I think so.
Maybe.
That little book, is the little book still there, or has it gone and sold out? We will just find out. Let me just read some of the comments for you as well that are coming in. Beth says, lovely snowflakes. The free snowflakes are gorgeous, says Deborah. Natalie says, wow, what a giveaway, as does Cindy. Yes, you're all still getting those free snowflakes whilst you get your order placed today. A lot of chatter still. A lot of chatter. Let me find all the comments. I keep losing them. This is an amazing collection. It is huge. The collections are always packed with lovely images. So we're just finding out, is the little book still there or has it gone? We are just finding out for you. Miracle on 34th Street was the name of the film. It was indeed.
Well,
Emma.
we were way out because we were saying 50 something.
Sorry?
We were saying 50.
Yeah, we were way out. We'd have been like 20 blocks north. Emma says, I love today's free gifts. It's awesome. Brenda says, my favourite is a spiritual Christmas set. I have them and they are beautiful. Cheryl says, Hunkydory is so gorgeous. Lorraine saying, Hunkydory and Crafter's Companion, a winning combo. I think so, Lorraine.
Me too.
Susan says, love the blue foil, something different. So you can go for the little book if you want. Let's give you the details then in that case for the little book. We'll just get those for you. Suzanne Stevens, Mary Navin says, stunning collection. Joy says, oh goodness, all of this winter white, it is beautiful, isn't it? There we are. We're going to give you the details for this coming in £9.99 or £14.49. You can add this into your basket still if you want. You've got 144 sheets within there, which is absolutely brilliant. It really, really is a fantastic value. So make sure you're stocking up on that. You can add that in alongside your blockbuster if you so wish. Right, we are going next to Winter Wildlife, which is this collection just over here. We were saying earlier, weren't we, Natalie, that it's so easy to give the Winter Wildlife. Like, who's going to say, no, I don't like wildlife? Like, not many people, let's face it, unless they're really miserable.
And these images are beautiful. The snow scenes in here are gorgeous. The compositions are beautiful. It's just a heartwarming collection overall.
It really, really is. So many toppers as well. Little tags in here that you've got, and then your topper imagery as well. There's absolutely loads within there, which is fantastic. So 4 designs, 2 of each in this one, is that right?
Yeah, 4 designs, 2 of each. So you've got beautiful images here with the deer and the owl. It's absolutely stunning. You've got 2 border strips on there as well, which is beautiful. Yeah,
really wonderful. So there's your one with the little owls. I love the fox. Fox and the hedgehog. Well, the fox is having a play with everyone in this one.
I know, absolutely everyone.
It's a very friendly fox.
They are. They are. I don't know if they'd be like that in real life, but in this collection.
My friend, his mum feeds one, and it comes all the time.
They
call it the forbidden floof, is what they call it in their house. The forbidden floof. They want to invite it in.
I feel like I'd be terrified if one of those rocked up in my garden. I wouldn't know what to do.
People feed them all the time. I've seen it on TikTok.
Yeah.
People feed them regularly. Yeah.
And then they come back, don't they, like little fox pets?
Can you imagine?
Just having a pet fox. What would you call it?
Is it coyotes they have in the US, which is sort of similar?
Are they not up in the hills?
I'm not sure, but I think they're a bit like a fox, like
I think so,
They're like a sort of funny-looking dog, really, aren't they?
Yeah, like a wild dog.
A wild dog. Yeah.
Very
You should see the ones in London, honestly. The urban foxes are just trotting down the road.
I know.
Honestly, it's like Marylebone High Street. It's just two great big massive foxes trotting down the road. It's very, very strange. They're integrated almost. This one here as well is a really lovely one with the robin and then all the detailing. Again, the foiling is off the chart, isn't it, across all of these?
I think the foiling is what makes our collection sometimes.
Yeah, it really
it's
does.
absolutely stunning.
And then you've got all of your different cardstock within here as well, which is absolutely brilliant there, as you can see. So that's the topper collection, which is going to go with this. I love the inspiration sheet. I know it's just something small.
I love it.
But it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really, really does. You get all of those fantastic card makes that the team have done, just showing you a little insight into what you could be making when you get this home.
Really brilliant. Then you're also going to get as well the inserts, which are fantastic. So 48 inserts. Is it unusual, not just inserts, to have the papers as well with
It's
this?
a little bit unusual. We only do it a couple of times a year with a few kits that we think really suit it, and this was just one of them. And I think it's because of all the different patterns and textures we've got throughout the collection, whether it's in like the cardstock and in the backgrounds, and it just allows you to make more, I think, as well, which are so I really appreciate it when we do have double-sided papers within the inserts, because there's so much you can do with double-sided papers. You can do sort of like origami, you could do a little bit of iris folding in your cards. You can make them really quite special.
Yeah, you really can. A really beautiful set of inserts there on that. Once you've got your inserts, you've then got your little book as well. Everything I'm showing you is individually. So if you wanted to go, is available individually. You want to add some extras of some of these into your basket, absolutely you could. This one here is that Winter Wonderland that we are looking at. Look at that donkey, the goose there as well, the little bunny. They are so, so cute. Going to look brilliant in little box frames, these, I'm thinking. It's just absolutely adorable, really classic Christmas imagery, which I know you are going to really, really love. And then the other thing we've got as well in here are the concept cards, aren't they? Eight concept cards. You've got one of them over there to hand.
I do. We made this one earlier on. They're these beautiful sort of box card frames. They have lovely acetate in the inside of them. And then they're sort of like 3D makes that have this pyramide centre in there. They are absolutely lovely. They do sort of have space in to write your message, and then they all come with box envelopes, so you can send them off when you finish making them.
Really, really cool. $39.99 or $57.99 gets you all of it. $31.99 or $46.39 if you are a platinum member. So make sure you are grabbing that. How are we doing on the stock here with this? The half gone on that, half gone. So very, very busy as we move into the last half an hour of our Hunkydory shows. Loads more comments coming in. Goodness, all of this winter white is lovely, says Joy. Loving the winter wildlife too, says Jeanette. Classic Christmas images that I love, says Gilmore. Diane saying this set has something for everyone. Colin says, I just love Hunkydory, especially adorable scoreable because of the weight, it makes great boxes. Vivian saying Hunkydory kits are always good value for money. You can make loads of cards very quickly. Rose says printing a Christmas letter on the inserts would be awesome. Yes, we looked about that. I talked about that a moment ago. Emma and Connie both loving your nails as well.
Oh, thank you.
Very, very cool. Linda says, I'm so glad I ordered early. I did all the Blockbuster and I'm thrilled. Such gorgeous Christmas cards I will make. Do the little, Colin says, do the little books come in the Ultimate Collection? The Ultimate Collection has gone to the Ultimate, where you might be getting confused, says the Winter Wildlife Ultimate Collection does come with the Winter Wildlife little book. Yes, it does indeed. The other Ultimate Collection, the Christmas 2022 Ultimate Collection, has sold out and gone. You can get the Blockbuster, and I believe of the Christmas 22, if you're very quick, you might be able to get the Christmas 2022 little book as well, but you will need to be fast for that. Kathy says, I love the colours on all the cards. Patty says, saving these shows for inspiration. Susan says, Natalie is an absolute whiz with the cutting and scoring. Bubble and Squeak, loving your card, as was Julie there as well. So Rose asking, what is included in the smaller bundle? Are we talking, I think she's referring back to the Christmas 22 bundle, the Blockbuster. That's all the toppers that I shared with you, and the magazine as well. So that is what is included in that 2022 Blockbuster. So you can go and see that. If you're ever in any doubt as to what is included in any of the bundles, go over to the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au, hit the Shop the Show button, and there you can see all the items that are on air at the moment, and you can see all of the contents listed really, really clearly for you, just in case you're ever in any doubt. But we're going to go back to Natalie, and we're going to look forward to another demo, I believe.
We are. We're going to do sort of an acetate front card here, and we're going to bring in that die as well that we've got included with this collection. So I've got my cardstock here, and I have fussy cut this gorgeous border out because it's such a decadent sort of shape, and I really wanted to do something fun with it. So I've sort of fussy cut this away, so when we pull it off, you can see that now splits our cardstock into two. So this was here, we fussy cut this off, and then it comes away like that. I'm going to now trim this a little bit shorter, because we're going to do an 8x8 with this. We're not going to use a card blank, we're going to use all the other stuff that we've got within the kit. So I'm going to trim this to, let's do it at 7 3/4, because that's going to give us a nice space to bring in some of this textured mirror card that we've got with this. So let me just double check that that's the right size, and this one is our gold snowflakes. So this is our embossed mirror. So that fits perfectly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some of the acetate as well that goes with this, literally compiling everything we possibly can into this demo, using all of the bits and pieces you can buy with this collection. So let's trim this to, let's do 8.5, and I want to do it by 8 because my card size is going to be 8, and it is already cut to 8. And then I'm going to trim, score now, sorry, at, what did we say it was? 8.5, so I need to score at 1/2. And when you're scoring on acetate, make sure you go through it a couple of times, because it is a really strong weight. It's 220 micron or foiled acetate, so it does withstand sort of a lot of pressure, but having it super scored makes sure that you get the best sort of quality card, especially when you're making card fronts from it. So this is going to sit on here. I'm going to add a little bit of red tape now onto this back section, and I want to get it quite high up actually, because we are going to sort of mat and lay it into that. So just trim that off there, and then I'm going to pop this now onto the mirror card itself, and this will make our card blank. So just popping that on and then stretch that out, and then we can add in our card that we've cut down. So this is going to sit really nicely on top of that mirror. If you're someone who wants to get the most out of their mirror, and especially with how beautiful this is, and if I had the time, or if I was crafting at home, I would use my trimmer again to cut an aperture out, so I wasn't using the whole of this, and then just pop it onto an 8x8 square of cardstock. And that just means that you can use more of this mirror for other projects. But I'm just going to pop this on here to create my sort of background image, and then let's bring in our border that we cut before. And I do have another piece of that gold mirror as well.
How did you get into crafting?
How did I get into crafting? I've always been really crafty, and it probably starts off with my mum. My mum's really crafty, and whenever she picked up a craft or learnt to do something new, I'd always be there sort of following her, learning how to craft. And then I always loved gifting presents that I'd handmade. I think it's just the joy that you sort of get when someone receives something that you've made and they're like, oh, that's really cool. Have you done that? And I'm like, yeah. I feel that always fills me, like, makes me feel quite warm inside when people think, oh, that's really nice. So I'm just popping out on the edge sentiment. I've gone with Season's Greetings, and I've added it down the side of here. So let's run this through our MIDI. And this is just gonna cut into that cardstock. So take that out there. But yeah, I don't know where I would be without crafting. If I'm not paper crafting, then I'm soft crafting. I think that's the same with every crafter though, isn't it? We're always doing something. So I'll pop this on here now, and I'm just going to trim away this detail. And then you can remove this whole section, and then you're left with that word. It is really, really beautiful. So just pop out all of those different pieces, and then you've got seasons, greetings. And then we're going to sort of encapsulate this now into our card. So we just need to trim this down because it's just a tad too big. So let's trim that to 8. I can pop that onto here. And then this mirror can go underneath my acetate. And again, we're going to hide all of those workings. So let's use our red tape because we're working with acetate. You always want to make sure that you're using a real strong adhesive. So pop that on. I can pull this away. Oops. And then pop this on the opposite edge of the acetate, making sure that's stuck down, and then we'll stick this panel now on top. So just 2 more strips of red tape. I think these dies are really nice as well because it's only ever so slight that you see this wording. But
They're
it
good
really
value
makes
as well, considering you're getting
different.
5 greetings in there, aren't they?
Yeah, really, really great. So popping that on there, and I might just need to trim that down ever so slightly, just off there. But all of our sort of tape, all of our workings have all been hidden by adding that onto there, and you get more of that beautiful textured mirror as well, just on that edge. So let's just finish off by adding our topper elements now. I'm going to go in with the coordinating topper, which has this beautiful bird on there, and we're going to pop that. I don't want to do it too far over because I still want to be able to see that imagery. I think we can take our border strip as well, and this is cute. It says open December 25th.
Are you good at saving your presents till Christmas Day, or do you always open some of them early?
No, and it sounds really sad, but I'm not a big present giver / receiver.
No.
But I don't like as in quantity wise.
No.
We tend to just do small presents and gifts, and most of the time they're like handmade things.
Right.
So a couple of years ago, I used, I got some little wooden rounds and put pictures on them, like transferred pictures with some glue of like some family pictures of moments with the kids on, and I did some with our little pooches on for the family, and they made them for Christmas trees. So yeah, I think because of that, yeah, I just say I'm quite good at waiting till the day, waiting to see what comes.
Wait and see what happens, yeah?
Yeah. So let's pop this out.
Our director said he'd be happy with a handmade MacBook Pro.
That would be nice,
You
wouldn't
don't
it?
think it'll function quite the same?
So let's just add this onto here now. Do you know what as well? I'm going to do something that I don't ever really do. And I'm going to off-center this onto this section here. There's always times to try new things. And then I'm going to place this over the other side just to give it a point of difference. So let's add some foam pads onto there. And I'll just wedge that in there. And then I think to finish it off, we'll go in with some of our ribbon. I think I've already got a bow ready actually. And we'll stick this on the top of that topper element. Here we go. It's just a little glue dot.
Do you know where you're going to be spending Christmas yet? I feel so weird talking about Christmas when it's going to be 35 degrees. It'll be 36 degrees on Monday and Tuesday in Manchester when I'm at home.
It's crazy, isn't it?
When was the last time it was 36 degrees in Manchester? Never.
And always.
Because you're not far from me, are you? About, what, 40 minutes up the road, something like that?
About 40 minutes, yeah, from the city centre. But yeah, if it's raining anywhere in the world, it's Manchester, isn't it?
Always.
But no, I think Christmas, we always try and split it between our families. So this year, I think we're having Christmas morning with Dan's side of the family, Christmas evening with my side of the family. So we're always travelling, making sure we can see everyone.
Amazing. I just bit the inside of my lip. Oh, it really hurts. Sorry, Natalie. There'll be a professional here next time you come, I promise.
I know, right?
We'll get one of the professionals in a beautiful, beautiful creation that, of course, made using that Winter Wildlife Ultimate set, which gives you, of course, the toppers, the concepts, the inserts, and the little book in there. I want to share with you the dies that are available as well. The dies, absolutely brilliant value, these. Considering you're getting, what, like 5 edgeable dies within here.
Yeah.
You're getting them, I think, $14.99, $21.74, the price there on those, which is absolutely excellent value. It really, really is. So definitely snap those up, put those in your basket. The other thing I want to tell you about is Twas the Night. The adorable scoreable cardstock from Twas the Night is still available. So let's just take you back through that. A really great festive selection of adorable scoreable. 350 GSM here, of course, a whole array of different festive colours, and it's got that bendy ink technology. Platinum members, $7.99 or $11.59. A lot of you choosing to multi-order on that at the moment. It's a very savvy way to go. Do not miss out on that one. Right, we are going to have a little look at the little book. The little book, the Christmas little book, are we looking at? Is there any? How many have we got left? Right, it's like beyond limited stock. It's like there's limited stock, then there's limited, and then there's limited, and that's where this is. There are more of you with it in your basket than we actually have stock available. If it is in your basket, check it out because you are going to miss out otherwise. So absolutely make sure you are grabbing that if you want it. Do not miss out on that. $9.99 or $14.49 if you want to go for that. Beth is loving your nails, Natalie. Lots and lots of love coming in for all of your makes. Cindy says, outshot. I know. It's been years since I've done that. Really, I mean, properly had a good old munch. I mean, you know the diet's getting out of hand when you're starting to eat the inside of your own mouth. Yeah, it's getting well out of hand. Audrey says, beautiful card. Love your design, says Fred. Marilyn says, love this Winter Wildlife set. And Mary Beth says, really like the placements on the cards, thinking outside the box. Thank you. So I know we are fast running out of time. We're going to come back and we're going to go through the blockbuster one more time. Yeah. Do you know why? Because it's really all we've got left, to be honest. It's been such an incredibly busy day. You guys have really loved it. But still an opportunity to get this, and really I love, because normally you'd bring sort of different collections. This is sort of the highlights really of the best of 4 collections really, isn't it?
We've sort of compiled absolutely everything we can into this. There's something for everyone. There's something that's like traditional, so maybe you could gift that to like your grandparents. There's something that's super fun, so maybe younger relatives or your cousins. There's a little bit of quirky in there, which is something for those people as well. Absolutely everyone is covered here. Every occasion, every theme, every person, and that's why we love it. It's just incredible. This one is the sort of very traditional highlight Christmas in the way the artwork is. I think the shapes as well are quite traditional as well. You've got beautiful bracket frames and borders throughout here. I love the decoupage sheet in here as well because it's very classic, reminds me of sort of like Great Gatsby or Downton Abbey, that type of feel. Yes. Then you've got the textured foiling, and you've got this throughout the whole collection as well. It's not just like we've bundled all this together and we've done it at a great price for you. We've bundled this together. We've thought about people who love decoupage. We've added this foiling in, which is so fancy to do. And
have you done this before, this kind of foiling?
We have done it before, and we tend to do it on Christmas blockbusters. Or with a collection that we think it really works with. But at Christmas time, we just love to treat everyone to something special,
something
and that's
really
why you
luxurious.
always get it
because you always know, if someone sends you a dodgy Christmas card, you always remember, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
You always know the next year, like, what card should we sell them? I'll send them one of the little ones. They sent us a really dodgy one last year. So if you go for it and you get, you send a spectacular one, you know there's going to be a really, really brilliant one.
Yeah, these are incredible. So that's the first of 4. Then you've got these ones, which are, again, you've got the church in there. So anyone who has sort of like, who goes to church, who's very religious, that one's perfect for them. You've got classic Santa in here. You've got Santa with the train, which is lovely, lovely imagery. You can get the Santa train near us, actually. It goes every year. You can get presents on it.
You get where?
The Santa train.
From where?
It runs from Bury to
Is it the
where I live.
East Lancashire?
Yeah.
I've never been on it, but
Yeah.
you can have afternoon tea on it apparently.
You can.
As well. We should go.
and
We should
have
meet up. It's about
lunches.
halfway.
It
We
is
should be about
halfway.
half. Would be.
We could go.
A friend of mine is taking for Brighton Pride. Is going on the Pullman. So the Pullman apparently is a very famous train in the UK,
really?
which you can take a bit like the Orient Express, but it goes around the UK.
Oh, that's
But they're getting
cool.
it from Victoria to Brighton for Brighton Pride, and then back again.
Wow.
They're having a Bellini brunch on the way down, and having a three-course meal on the way
fancy
back.
is that?
Our friend, it's actually the lovely Becky Swan, our Softcraft guest,
Really?
Becky.
That is
all
incredible.
bougie Becky, as I'm now
Bougie
referring to her as.
This is festive style. This is a little bit more fancy. You've got more quirkier designs in here, different styles, a bit more modern in taste as well. So we've got the three kings with the beautiful textured detailing throughout the design. Again, as well, so much detail within the Merry Christmas, My Dear. Peace on Earth is the beautiful teal foiling, and we have absolutely gorgeous sort of like accent foiling stars throughout that as well. And you've got that marrying up across on your foil cardstock too, so everything coordinates together. It's just incredible. And then my favourite topper of all, Snowing in the City. It's just
I didn't even notice these two
stunning.
buildings in the background. Looks
No,
like
you
the more you look
don't.
at it, the more you see with this one, isn't
There's
it?
so much detail in here. It's absolutely incredible. A great one if you love fussy cutting is to fussy cut around all of these houses and then maybe have it on like a bow of acetate.
Oh yeah, I bet a Z-fold card look gorgeous with that as well.
Yes,
Loads of options.
Z-fold.
He's letting 70% of these toppers now have gone
Wow.
70%. There are a lot of you with these in your basket at the
I'm
moment
not
as well.
surprised. This is the next set of 4. Again, beautiful decoupage in with that sheet here. The very, very lovely Cozy Christmas with the camper van in there. Super stylish with the colours in that one as well. The Christmas pudding there in Christmas cocktails, a really nice way of stylising that sort of classic image of the Christmas pudding as well. So it's totally different. And then Festive Sparkle, you've got the beautiful ballerinas in there, sort of look like they're floating throughout the sky. Beautiful sentiments like spreading a little sparkle, especially for you. To my beautiful dancing queen at Christmas. And then you've got these like little button toppers as well, and sometimes I like to use them instead of using like gemstones, just on sort of like the edges or the corners. Then next up we've got Snowy Days. This one is typically the most favourite of all 4 of the individual collections, because it just screams Christmas with the snow. You've got the church there in the little village scene with everyone around the Christmas tree. Father Christmas there, which decoupages beautifully and gives you a real 3D effect on that one. And then look at this edge-to-edge foiling you've got to go with it. It's gorgeous with these snowflakes on. Greetings of the Season has the amazing scene with Buckingham Palace in it. Very, very regal. Perfect for this year where we've celebrated the Jubilee as well. And then Lovebirds, you've got the very cute little robins on there, on their little perch. The next 4, we have Merry Christmas to You, and there's some great sentiments on there as well. We've got Sending Love from Across the Miles, Christmas Wishes, and we wish you
E-W-E. You.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, does it say New Year?
New Year, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Then we've got Seasons Tweetings with the very cute image of the donkey. The holly runs through that one quite significantly in both the kit, the foil cardstock and your printed cardstock. You've got textured foiling in this one here, which is gorgeous. And then the Winter Hideaway is just so idyllic. Everyone needs to go to that place. I'm going to ask where it is actually, because it must be based on
There must be a
somewhere.
place. It's got to be
Yeah.
based on something, isn't it?
Something, somewhere.
If you find out, can you let me know?
Yeah, I
And
will.
if it's an Airbnb, send me the link.
I will.
Cheers.
Perfect Christmas has the little pooches on, so going to be perfect for any pet lovers. Santa Paws is coming to town, wishing you a perfect Christmas. Just some of the sentiments you've got on there. Is it Christmas Yeti? You've got the beautiful holographic foiling, which makes this one super special.
I'd imagine these look really lovely as well with the on the diamond, but then with the other 2 frames, like the other way round
like
behind them, you can
crisscrossing
sort of
your
crisscross them
frames,
over.
doing different designs like that. This is all the type of things you can do with these because you have those extra borders. If you just had one border, you couldn't be as jazzy, but sort of mixing them around, creating that type of card, it looks amazing. Jingle All the Way has the very nice image of Santa in the sky. Merry Christmas is completely different, very traditional but super, super cute in the way it's laid out. And then the last four, Merry Christmas, which has the most gorgeous Highland cow on. I feel like someone needs to give him a haircut though, because I can't really see his eyes.
No, he's got a very healthy pink nose though.
I know, he's doing well, isn't he?
He is. Those birds must be getting on his nerves, I was thinking earlier.
I felt that, to be fair. Get off my head. Pick of the penguins, you've got the very two cute penguins there in their pom-pom jumpers.
I quite like one of these pom-pom jumpers.
I think I might make one for this year.
Brilliant, I think you should.
Maybe we should crochet these hats as well with
Mate,
like
yeah,
giant
I reckon we
stars
could.
on the top.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I'm game.
Polar Bear Hugs has the very, very sweet polar bear imagery. There's so much detailing in here in regards to how you can see how they're so fluffy and cute as well. It's incredible, some of the artwork in here. And then the final one is Snow Much Fun, which has the very, very sweet snowmen sort of stacked up there. I love this image as well, where they're sort of inside the snow globe. It's very, very cute. And that is everything.
Yeah, it
And
really
there's a
is
lot
brilliant.
there.
There is an awful lot within there. And remember, in that Blockbuster, not only are you
popping it
getting...
back
I'm going to pop them over
Oh,
here.
you're putting them over there?
Yeah.
Something different.
In that
something
Blockbuster,
different.
not only are you getting that of you, of course you are getting the magazine as well. You explained
Yeah.
the magazine for us beautifully earlier.
Yeah.
There's loads in here, isn't there? And
Yeah.
you can make everything in here, is that
Absolutely
right?
everything in there. So the way we designed it was that the team had different topper sets, and we said, can you make 2 cards with this topper set? And we're going to pop them in the magazine so that when you get this home, you know you can make absolutely everything in here. You're not going to need extra elements. You're not going to need another piece of cardstock to create everything you've got in here. All of this you can make with your Blockbuster.
Loving that one there.
It's so fun, isn't it? There's some really nice styles and designs, and magazines are so important as well. And I often, when I'm having a lull day or whether I'm not very inspired, I'll flick through magazines just to get layouts. Layouts of cards, because very often you can reuse these layouts with different sets that we've got. You could use some of these with our winter wildlife.
Of course, yeah. And I love the fact that it even shows you the topper sheets laid out
Yeah.
within there as well, that you
So
are
you
going
know
to get and
everything you
receive.
need.
It's
And
absolutely
you've got free
brilliant.
papers in here as well.
And papers as well. Who doesn't
And
love a
inspiration
freebie?
on how to use them.
Brilliant,
It's
absolutely
jam-packed
glorious.
filled with inspiration.
It is. Let's, well, details on your screen for the little book. Let's give you the details again for the Blockbuster. Just here it comes. Very, very busy. Over 70% gone on the Blockbuster. Here's the details. $44.99, $64.99. Saves you £40. Almost $60. Natalie, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us. So
I will
lovely to
see
see
you
you again
soon.
after all these years. Do you
I
know
know.
if you come back with us anytime soon?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, you'll have
I'll
to
be
fight.
asking,
You'll have to
though.
fight
I know,
Anne-Marie
I will.
for the gig.
I
You will
will.
indeed. Have a safe trip back
Thank
across.
you.
What way are
See
you
you
going? You
later.
going over the top or underneath?
I'll go underneath.
Underneath,
around.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, safe trip back over
Thank
the
you.
M62. We'll see you again really, really soon. We need to take a slight pause. We're going to get ready for the second instalment of Jan's Glue School. So whilst we do that, we will take a short pause and I'll see you on the other side of this.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy. Get yours now. Quick Buy. All your crafty must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's fabric cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick Buy. All your crafty must-haves in a flash.
I'll buy it myself.
Oh, all right, ladies, calm down. We're back on the telly. Nickers is like, rah, rah. She's like a fishwife over there. Take a breath, take a breath. Jan's joining in. I wouldn't mind, but Jan's got a draw back in. She knows we're coming back. She didn't care. She's still gassing on. Right, loads and loads of love for Natalie. Gillian says, thanks Natalie for the great demos. Miriam says, I hope she comes back again. Really, really loved it. Lynn was loving it, as was Jerry and Julie and Mary Pat and Shelley. Sybil. That's not a name you hear that often, is it? Sybil. So there we are. And Jessica said, I'd never heard of Hunkydory until today. But now it comes back. What's a fishwife? People are asking in the comment. Jan, what's a fishwife? How do you describe a fishwife?
What's a fishwife? That's not an easy one to explain, is it?
Yeah, it's a fisherman's wife, isn't it?
Would think so.
Yeah, and it's just like, if someone really gossips, my mum would always say, oh, she's swearing like a fishwife or gossiping like a fishwife.
They've obviously not got a very good reputation, have they, these fishermen's wives?
No. I mean, I'm sure fishermen now. Sure, fisherman. If you are a fisherman or the wife of a fisherman or a fisher lady, let's go with fisher person.
A fisher
let's
person.
not misgender those fisher people. It's 2022. We don't mean any harm by it. Sharon says, oops. And Heather says, hi Jan, welcome back. Right, we're going to share with you tape pens. That's what we're going to look at next. They're an essential. We've got the dots for you, which are these ones here. It is a 6-pack of the tape pens with the dots. It's great that we're able to offer you a 6-pack because so often these are so low in stock. So £24.95 or £34.75 if you want to get your hands on these. Is it just the dots or do we have the regular ones as well? It's just the dots. On this particular show, it is just the dots. There you go. Right, just dots. Do we have the
regular one at the beginning?
Sorry?
I don't know. I've lost.
I don't know, Jan.
I mean, not in the
to be honest, Jan, I've been here so long today, I don't know what my name is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know who I am after the couple of days we've had.
Well,
we did have,
use them both just to show the difference.
We did have the, so we had the dots tape pen at the start. We must be, Jan, we must be out of stock of the regular one, I'm guessing.
Quite possibly.
So, which is why we've got a 6-pack of the dots on. Plot twist, the dots is the one I use for everything. And I know that's not correct. I just like the way it feels when it goes down.
Well, I'm just going to show the difference for anybody that's not familiar with them. But we call them tape pens because they're actually in sort of a, I don't know whether it's a pen format or not, but you know, they're sort of, I think they look more like little mice. I'd call them a tape mouse. If we just have a look at those there from above, just so that we can see them actually. Can we have a quick look? He's coming. He's getting there. Can we not get on the overhead? There we go. Look, that's fabulous. Thank you. So just to show you the difference, if you're not familiar with these, we've got the double-sided one, which has got like the solid line on it. And then we've got the dotty one, which you can see has got the dots on. If I take them off the black cardstock, the original one, the double-sided, is slightly lighter colour. They're both purple, but this one's got a slightly darker case. The original one, the double-sided one's got like a clear tape in. The one with the dots is blue. So they are quite distinguishable as to which one's which. Different purposes again. I like to use my double-sided one if I'm using it instead of a wet glue or something like a finger lift tape. Works exactly the same. Really strong tape in here. 22 metres of it, to be precise, inside there. You wouldn't think that you could get 22 metres on that little roll, but there is. And this one is simply a full line of adhesive. And then when you get to the end of your line, just give it that little flick to break the line of adhesive. Otherwise, it will keep coming out of your tape pen, and you get that sort of line of glue hanging off, and you think, well, what do I do with it now? The dotty tape pen, it's exactly the same tape. It's just been done in a dot format. So I'm going to show you this a bit closer in a second. But you can see there is a clear difference. And again, just that flick to break the adhesion. And then if I bring this up closer to the camera and just see if we can tilt it a little bit there, can we see that the one of them's got the dots in and one of them's just the plain? So you can use either of them to stick with, absolutely no problem. I'm actually just going to pop together. I've just got a piece of spare cardstock from when I was doing the matting and layering. Just with the double-sided one, I wouldn't normally do this much glue. If I was going to stick this together, I would follow it round the outside here. Just keep remembering to do that little flick just to break it. But I actually want to do is pop quite a bit inside here to show you the strength of this particular glue. So I'm actually doing probably more than I would normally put if I was going to stick a couple of things together. But for matting and layering, if you're not into your wet glue, this one's a brilliant one to actually work with. So again, all I've done is covered one side of this with the glue, and then it reacts with the heat. So give it a good press all over, and just where that friction is, it just provides that little bit of heat. And again, I like to sort of go in and just make sure that it's all sealed with my bone folder. And once we've done this now, the test is going to be to try and get it apart again. So if I actually try and just get my tool in there just to start it off, but if you look here, I am literally pulling with all my might, and it is well and truly stuck in there. So this is a really good one if you're wanting to stick mats and layers, and as I say, you're not keen on the wet glues. If you are a scrapbooker, it's worth mentioning that both these tape pens are acid and lignin free, so that it won't damage any of your photographs or anything like that. And then coming back, I'm going to leave that one just there for a second. Coming back to the dotty tape pen, I know Joe says he likes to use this to stick things together, which is absolutely fine. If that's how you want to use them, that is perfect. It was designed to use with our intricate dies.
Lorraine, like me, says I like the sound of the dotty tape pen.
You just like it?
I like the way it feels, I like the way it sounds, I like everything about it.
So we said earlier in the show that we'd actually brought the intralace dies to you today at a really nice bundle price for you. There's 4 different ones in there. I chose the Framed with Love, which is a really nice floral design. And what I've done is I've cut it, if I just use the back of this to show you, out of some of our silver glitter card. So this is actually the encapsulated glitter, and I've run this through my machine with my metal shim underneath here. So the metal shim to cut against and cut beautifully. Now what I thought we'd do with this is bring in some acetate as well at this point. And the worst thing ever for you to have a look at, I've actually made an acetate card, which I've not done before. The fan's blowing it over now. I'm having terrible issues with the heat in the fan today. But yeah, literally, all I've done is actually stuck 2 pieces together, and I use my red line tape to do that. Okay, now it's not obviously visible in the bit where the spine is, but we're actually going to cover it anyway. So what I've done is I've just again gone back to my red land tape. I've used the 3mm one to just pop down that edge because it was a nice straight edge, but I'm going to use the dots on the rest of it. Now I've seen 1 or 2 people put a piece of cardstock underneath. If you wish, absolutely fine. I tend to do it straight onto my mat, and the secret with this is to be really light-handed, and I've had to train myself to do this because I am quite heavy-handed with things. So really, holding it top, it's got little ridges. They're both the same design. They've got the little ridges at the top here so that you can actually hold it on here, really light touch, and just drag the dots over the back of your die cuts. Now if you've got any kind of you know, sort of orientation with the way the die cuts go, if you've got any little filigree bits or bits like that, I tend to go with the line of the die cut. If you're going against it, there's a chance that you might snag it, but basically just going to pop those dots all over the back of that die. And the beauty of it is none of it is going through onto my mat here. It just stays on the cardstock and it misses the gaps. It's absolute magic in a tape runner. It really is. I love these. I use these such a lot, and it's brought a whole new meaning to how you stick your intricate die cuts together. Because in the past I would have been trying to do this with my fine tip applicator, putting little tiny bits all over the bits where there was a bit more card, and then when you pop it down, all it does is just squidge out again like that. We're back to that Mayo technique again. So I've got my dots all over the back there, and I'm literally just going to lift that liner off.
Great question just come in from Ro.
Yep.
Saying, is the Adorable scoreable considered coated card? If so, would you use the tacky glue on it? Would you use the glue pen?
Yes, I think it is a coated cardstock.
It is a coated cardstock, isn't it?
I would agree with that, yeah, and it has got a slight sheen to it.
Yeah.
So if I was adhering something to it, I would probably go with a dry glue. So I'd either be going with my tape pen or something like the finger lift tape to stick to it. I think if we started, certainly I said that the all-purpose didn't like the shiny surfaces, and obviously if you're attaching paper to it to mat and layer with, we'll come back to these in a second. This one's looking very, very sorry for itself. We'll come back to those in a second. It's like it wants to go in the bin and nowhere else, that one. So yeah, I would probably stick with a dry form of glue to actually pop that together. So what I'm going to do is just pop that down so that we can see where we're going with this. It's covered in little bits off my canvas bag that it's been in, but what I'm just going to do is pop this onto the front here, line it up the best I can. I want to go virtually up to the spine with that side, with that, just that line of tape, and then the rest of it here. And what I tend to do, the old brayer that I have for my other projects, is just use this. And again, if you don't want to do it on the front, you can put a piece of cardstock over the top, but it just gets all those dots to make contact with the card itself. Now this could be onto ordinary cardstock, it would still adhere to a Centura Pearl, to a matte cardstock, you know, whatever it is that you fancy using, those dots are going to adhere to. Now I've probably stuck that one to my mat there, but I think we're good. And then literally, just to make this into a card, I've just stamped out a little element here, and I was going to pop that in there with a foam pad, and this is a perfect opportunity to show you what I meant about disguising the back of the card. So again, we're going to pop that in the centre of that acetate, but some people don't like when you open it then that you can see the foam pad. So all I've done is create exactly the same die cut, and literally if we pop that on the inside at the back, and I'm just going to use a little piece of red line tape there. I don't need that on a foam pad on the inside. So we're literally just going to use a little piece of tape. We're going to pop that on the back of there. I'm going to use this as a guide so that I know that it won't show. Take the liner off and then line this one up on the inside so that it's not showing. Now again, you can see a few of the dots because it's a blue glue. You can see, I'm not too worried about that, but again, if you were, you know, if you're particularly not clean on it, it's the blue glue that's in here, yeah. So the dots actually look blue on the back of here. Oh, wow. Now, if this was trapped between a layer of cardstock and a paper, it wouldn't matter, but because it's on the acetate, if you don't like seeing this, again, cut your main piece again and pop it on the back. They'll match up beautifully because it's a die cut. And then all I was going to do with this one, just to actually make it, because we've not done very many finished projects, I'd just brought 1 or 2 little black pearls with me, that I was just going to stick, but I can do that after the show there. Just to pop into some of those little gaps there, just to add a bit of definition into those little flowers and bring it to life. But you can just see how that's coming together. And then if you wanted to pop a greeting in there, so like people often say to me, well, where do you write your message, Jan? Because I often decorate the insides of them heavily. What I would do is cut myself, maybe using those matting and layering dies, a nice rectangle, maybe stamp the sentiment on it, and I would do the same again and put that rectangle on the back so that you couldn't see where it was stuck to it. But it just gives you an idea of something that little bit different and shows off that dotty tape pen really, really well. So again, you can see all the way through that one. But this is now stuck on perfectly with those self-adhesive dots.
And it really is just all about having, isn't it, the right glue or the right adhesive for the job that you're doing. It really is as simple as that. If you, the details are there for the interlace. Let's give you the details again then for the 6 dotty tape pens, which is what you saw Jan using just a moment ago. So if you want to get 6 of those dotty tape pens, you can. I will give you the details for those. Here they come. They are 6 of them, so you'll get 6 of these ones just here. Lots of questions still coming in, lots of comments about everything. Faces Glue School is always so informative, always so much to learn. I use the dotty tape pen all the time, says Alison. Mary Beth asked a great question, actually, something I hadn't considered before. Is the finger lift tape very strong? Which I know it is, but does it stay on over time, is what they asked.
That is something that in the past, I've always been a bit wary of double-sided tape as we know it, which it came out originally. And this was pretty much, when I first started crafting, you got one wet glue, double-sided tape, and that was about it. And over time, it can dry out a little bit if you're using it on things like home decor items that are going to be displayed for quite a long time. If it's something like that that you want in longevity out of, what I would do is actually use the double-sided tape, but possibly just smear a little tiny bit of your wet glue over the top of it to give it that like insurance that it's going to, you know, as long as you're using this sparingly. You can see we used this one on the box earlier and that's dried beautifully in the corners there, look, no problem whatsoever. Okay, but if I come back to that original one, if I wanted to mat and layer this on top now, can you just see the state of it? So actually putting the papers together with it, we've literally just got something that's virtually unusable. But done in the right way and just smoothing it out under those pieces there, we've got a really nice finish on the box there. So yeah, you can use the double-sided tape, but for longevity, maybe that little bit of wet glue, just a little touch of it, smooth it out with your finger, just to add that extra sort of little bit of insurance.
Amazing. The lovely Lynn Harvey says CC tape pens are the best. I don't use any others, and when CC first brought out the straight one, after I used it for the first time, I just threw away any of the others that I had that were not Craft's Companion. That is how good they are. That's a glowing endorsement. Stephanie says, I have a tip. When using the tape pens, I use a 5.5 by 7 piece of paper I've laminated so I don't leave residue on my glass mat. It wipes up nicely and I don't find that the odd stickiness on my card from time to time.
Yep, a really good idea. Yeah, and this is the beauty about being able to chat with our customers, Joe, isn't it? It's not just me giving out the tips, we're getting them back from our customers, and I love that the fact that that's instant.
Yeah,
you know, you've not got to wait until somebody picks up an email and reads it and replies to you. You've got that instant two-way communication,
you absolutely have. Lorraine says, I knew I'd bought a brayer for something. There you are, Lorraine. Now you know. We're going to move on. We're going to share with you the red liner collection. I mean, Jan,
can I just do a couple more bits with the tape pen before we move on?
Absolutely you can. We've got time, most definitely. I'll give you the details of the red liner tape anyway then. It was just there on your screen. So you get 2 of the 12, 2 of the 6 and 2 of the 3 mil, £15 or $31. We'll come to that in a moment. Details still on your screen for the tape pens, the Dotty 6-pack, which is here. What would you like to share with us next, Jan?
Well, this just addresses one of the questions from earlier. I apologise because I can't remember who asked, but someone asked about vellum. Okay, earlier on in the show we talked about how to stick vellum, and again, notoriously in the past it's been really hard to stick together. So vellum is like a translucent paper. All right, so I've actually chosen one that's got a little bit of a pattern on here. This is from one of our collections. I think it's the Secret Garden collection this came from. It came with a vellum pack as well. So you can just see there where we've got that lovely piece there. And I've got a simple matting layer, again, little bits that were left over from that original matting. And what we were going to do is pop this over the top just to add another layer. Now, if you've got what I call plain vellum, it is really, really difficult to stick. I tried my red line tape, and that does tend to show through the plain vellum. I've also tried using the tape pens, which is what I'm going to use now, and it still does show through. So if it's the plain white vellum, my go-to was to actually pop it on with brads in the corners. Or if, for example, you were going to pop a sentiment somewhere on here, you could actually put the glue under the sentiment so that it didn't show. But if you've got something like this that's actually got a little bit of a pattern on it, that dotty tape pen works beautifully. So again, I'm just going to run it lightly round the edges of that vellum, just as if I treat it as if it was a piece of paper. Take it round the edge there, and then we're going to stick it on top of the card. And with it being a patterned vellum, you're actually getting something that will stick it down beautifully. Now there's a little tiny bit of evidence of it at the top here. I can just see a little bit, but obviously under all the design here, it's virtually non-existent under there, so it is an option for you. But as I say, what I tend to do, if for example I was going to put, I don't know, maybe I know it doesn't actually match it, but if you were going to put the decoupage on there, I would actually be popping some red line tape underneath the back of here, where this is going to mask it off and not see it, so that it anchors it. So there are ways round it, but it is notoriously difficult to actually stick vellum without it seeing. So again, the brads just literally I usually put a hole through with my pokey tool, pop the brad through the whole piece, and it does secure it then and becomes a sort of an added feature with it. And then just very quickly before we move on, I wanted to look at these in a decorative form as well. So if any of you out there have got the cold foils, rather than the hot foil system that we use with the foil press. These come in some of the earlier collections, and this is sort of a cold foiling system. Now, when we last did this, one of the customers asked, could it be done with the hot foils? And bless her, she actually tried while we were on air, and she said, yes, it can be.
Oh,
so if you've got the hot foils, you can do this as well. So again, I've just got white cardstock this time, and I'm going to run a length of the plain one down there, flick it to break that adhesion, and then I'm going to pop the same with the dotty tape pen, and again just flick it to break that adhesion on the bottom. And then I'm going to use the foil here just over the edge of it, and again make sure you've got good contact with it. Give it a little press where the glue is. Again, if you really want to sort of apply some pressure to it, add the tools on there, and then when you take this off, you've got beautiful sort of embellishments. And this is just one of the mediums that you can use. So that was foil there. And again, if I just lift this up now and catch the light with it, you can see you've got the solid line, which was on the original double-sided tape pen. And then this one, you've just got the dots picking up that foil. Now you can do this with gilding flakes as well. So if you've got gilding flakes in your stash, whether they're ours, I know Hunkydory do a great range of gilding flakes. You can actually rub those onto here. You can do it with glitter as well. So the tape pens are strong enough to hold added mediums as well as just popping cards together. So if you just wanted to run something down, you know, I mean, I've just done this freehand. It may be that you want to draw a line to get it straight, but it's just that other little added touch that you might not think about when we think of an adhesive sticking something together. So I just wanted to show you that before we moved on to that red line tape. So a couple of things there with the double-sided tape. I'm just going to show you these one last time. If you were with us at the top of the show, it always fascinates me this. We're like over 2 hours into the show, 2 hours and 20 minutes nearly. This one's still perfectly flat. This is the all-purpose glue. So fit for purpose, matting and layering, cardstock to paper, cardstock to cardstock, paper to paper, solvent-based glue, and you've got something that is pretty much perfect. If I bring this one in at the side of it,
Oh dear.
can you see the state it's in now?
Yeah. And that's not saying that there's anything wrong with tacky glue, it's just that it is for a different kind of job.
As I say, fit for purpose, yeah. The tacky glue works much better for adhering things like embellishments. You saw that sheet that I'd got earlier with all the different embellishments. But yeah, the water content of this has just soaked into the card. You know, the back of this one's still perfectly smooth. Back of this one is still dimpled where it's just soaked in. Doesn't go away. The water's got nowhere to go. So yeah, I'm not going to show those again now. I'm just going to leave them there and not worry about it. So yes, double-sided, red line tape coming up next. We're going to put that box together, Joe. So
brilliant.
Yep.
So if you want to go for the tape pen 6-pack, it's there on your screen, $24.95 or $34.75 is your price there. On that, we've got the red liner tape collection as well. That's what we're going to be focusing on next. So let's give you details for the red liner collection then. Here it is. You've got 2 of the 12mm, 2 of the 6mm and 2 of the 3mm. £15 or $31 gets you that home. Double points, remember, and of course someone will be winning £500 or dollars to spend on our website in the next 40 minutes, Jan.
Yes. Just for commenting,
is it?
Is it just for commenting?
Yeah, so it'll be from the people that are already up on the list. So everyone up on the list over there has already won themselves a goodie bag. Yeah. And now it's the grand draw for that £500 or dollar spent on.
That is absolutely amazing.
Better Minds. I keep calling it the naughty list. I don't know why. The nice list. I'm so used to, I'm familiar with being on the naughty list, Jan, is obviously what it is. The concept of the nice list doesn't really resonate with me, I think. What I also want to share with you, though, is something else I know Jan's going to be taking a look at in a moment, which are these, the treat boxes that are available to you as well. So I'll just quickly whiz you through these. 3 different box styles for you. Are these... Oh, hang on a minute. Half price. These didn't launch very long ago.
Pardon?
These didn't launch very long ago.
No, they didn't.
These were really quite a recent launch. I'm very surprised. They're actually slightly better than half price. I'm really surprised to see them on at this kind of deal, actually. So you've got all 3 of the different styles. What you also then get as well are the 3 different templates to sort of make the larger boxes that connect them together. It all makes sense in a minute when you see Jan demonstrate it. And you'll get the hook and loop in there as well. £32 or $36.80 if you are a platinum member. And you are getting also the double points, remember, as well. So make sure you are snapping those up. Right. Let's go back to Jan then for another demo.
Yep, so I've actually chosen the roll-up treat box, and this is the one that I showed you at the top of the show. If you weren't watching, we had a look at this little guy. So this one's actually been made with several. I'm just going to show you how to put one of these boxes together, and then it's simply a case, and all the instructions are in there, simply a case of just attaching them together, and you can make gifts like this where each little box opens and you can pop gifts in each one. But then when we close it back up with those little Velcro dots, it makes a beautiful little gift box. And you can see just by adding decoration to it, and all the dies are in there to create all the decoration, you know, the labels in there, the little locks on the front, it's all part of that system. So you get an awful lot for your money with this. So this one's the roll-up treat box. You've got that inspiration on the front. I'm just going to go with the little one here that's the single box. And then I showed you the one where we've put the 4 together. Shows you it open here, and inside here you can see all the metalwork in there. So we've got the main concept die, which is the outside one there, that actually creates the box, and you will need one of the larger sets of plates for this. It is a little bit big for our Gemini Junior, so you would need a larger plate for this. If you're going to use your Junior, there is a way of doing it, because you can actually put half of it on, like so. You'd still need to run it through a larger Gemini, so you're not actually gaining a lot, because obviously the other Gemini, the Junior goes through this way, and then you can flip it round and do the other side. But like I say, these would still have to go through that larger template. All the rest of the items on here would certainly go through the smaller machines right down to the Mini. So you've got loads and loads of embellishments. You have got matting and layering dies to create the designs on the side. Now you've actually got external cutting edges and internal pieces, or cut them together, which is what I've done to actually create a decorative element. You can see there how that's actually cut out to create that beautiful decorative element that we're going to use to decorate the box with. You've got the end pieces, again, you know, to fit in those little squares at the end. You've got lots of embellishment pieces, lovely swirls, you've got the locks and keys and flowers, all sorts of bits and pieces on there. And also in your packet, you get the plastic templates or the Mylar templates if you're wanting to extend them. And like I said, there is in here quite comprehensive instructions on how to pop these together. So if you prefer to see something written down and work to, you've got those to work. If you've got a laminator at home, I often run these through my laminator just to keep them intact so that you've got them there for each project. So what I've done is I've done a little bit of the work already. I've popped this through my my Gemini and I've cut it. You can see how it cuts that box shape out there. Absolutely perfect. Not only does it cut, it applies the score lines as well. So you can see where we've got all the horizontal score lines, all the vertical ones to allow us to actually start and fold these in and create the shapes. And then I've used just the plain outline elements and I've actually done some of the decoration because that wasn't what I wanted to show you today. So I've just used on here, you can see that one. And then the little edges of the box of just the little square one there. So we've got those at the ready. And then I've used this one in conjunction with the decorative piece to actually create that lovely one that we're going to pop on the front of the box there. And then I've also cut a few of the embellishments. I've used the tag here and just stamped on that with one of my stamps. I've got the little tiny lock here, you can see just on that one. And then I've used just one of the flowers again that we're going to add in as decoration. Now when I'm actually building boxes like this, whether I've used a die set or whether I'm actually making a box from scratch myself, you know, I do prefer to use my red line tape. Now you can use the wet glue like I showed you earlier on in that first hour. We smoothed it on, we popped it together and we put clips on it to hold it together. But the red line tape you're going to get an instant finish with. So all I've done is I've used my 6mm on here and I've just popped on the 4 tabs, and again it explains all this in the instructions, and this is how we're actually going to start and seal it together. So I wanted to leave the top edge open, and I'll show you what I mean when we get to that part. If you wanted to leave one of the ends open, then it's a case of working with those square elements. So we've got a straight up piece at the back here. You can see that piece which I've decorated on the back. And then these 2 pieces are going to come up to form the sides, and then this is going to wrap all the way over the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck these tabs that we have the glue on onto the inside, and I'm actually going to bring it together to push this one onto it. So we'll do one side first and just line up, and you've got an instant stick there. Once you're happy with it, give it a good press. Same at this side, and I tend to sort of just pop in with my bone folder and give it a good press down inside there to make sure you've got that.
With this one, Jan, maybe the reason I don't use it very much is you've got to commit, haven't you? When you're ready to stick, there's no wiggle here, is there?
The only way to get a little bit of wriggle, as I say, is to add a bit of the wet glue. Right. So just pop a bit on some cardstock, dab it with your finger and rub it over the top, and it will just give you that little bit more time if you're not as confident in lining things up. So it works, they work together. Right. You could use the wet glue on its own, and like I said, pop the clips in like we did with the box at the beginning. But I just find, you know, all you're doing is lining one side up with the other, and once you're there, it's literally instant. You've got that done in no time at all. So I know I've done the prep work with the die cutting, but you can just see there how that's gone together. And as I say, I tend to just go in with my bone folder and give it a little press. And then we've got 2 little tabs that fold in. This one goes in, and you can just see, like I said, I've done some of the matting and layering and the actual cutting, but very, very simple to do. And then the little tiny stars are actually pieces that popped out of here. So you actually get 3 little stars that come out of the detail, and I just thought, well, why not keep them? And then what I want to do is actually pop this one on the front of here just as decoration. So best glue to stick this one on, Joe, what do you think?
Dotty.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's almost like I've been paying attention, isn't it?
Absolutely right. So because we've got that intricate style again, whether you want to pop a piece of scrap underneath it or whether you want to work straight onto your mat, again, get those dots at the ready. Really nice light strokes. over the back of your die cut and just add wherever, and this is what I meant about look at the direction that it's been cut in, and that way you can actually follow that cut and not snag any of the little pieces there. So we're just going to stick this onto the front as decoration, and I don't think there is a right way or a wrong way up. I don't think it really matters. So I'm just going to pop that right over the top. That matches the layer that's underneath because that external die was the same one. If you do happen to get any rogue dots, they will just rub away with your finger. So if you've got any in the gaps where you don't need it, it will just rub away. And then I was going to put my little tag on the back here. And again, you could put this on foam tape, you could use that silicone if you wish, that 3D glue gel. I'm actually going to put mine flat, and because I'm sort of going to embellishments almost now, I've got my tacky glue in the little applicator bottle. All right, so again, I'm just going to pop a little bit on the back of here, classing it as an embellishment, and then we're going to lay this one down onto the back there. And then I've got that little flower to decorate. So again, we're still working on embellishments. I had a little flower. It's gone AWOL at the minute. Where's that gone? It'll come back, no doubt. And then the little lock I just thought would be really cute on the front of here, just to suggest, you know, that there's something nice and special inside. I don't know where the flower's gone. I don't know whether it's blown away with the fan or... Again, just that little bit on there because we're going on to the top of all the other bits and pieces. Just centre it in there. And, it's there, I found you. I was just going to pop this one as a decoration here on the top. And I've just die cut that, popped a little pearl in the centre. We just need a bit further over there. And again, just pop that one on as decoration. Just remember, your tacky glue just needs a second or two to grab. And then we've got that lovely little gift box there, which you could pop a few little treats in there. You can just see we've got that decoration on it there. Amazing. And then if you wanted to, you could add some little goodies. And again, you've got a nice sort of little space inside there, but just a nice little treat box. And now the instructions show you how to fasten these together if you then want to take it on to the next level. So you can see this is actually just one of those boxes here, exactly the same as what I've done. It's just a case of actually sticking them together now to create that series. Again, if I lift this back now, you can see that we've got one here, and then it's a way of sticking them that allows you to pop them together to go on to make sort of little boxes now that are a bit more decorative. So from this one to this one, just a case of repeating this another 3 times, and then there are some extra pieces that you need to cut, which it explains in the instructions, just to get that next one to stick on. But yeah, really, really simple. And as I say, I think the red line tape makes it so easy to get these done. If you're really wanting to batch make, I mean, that would make a lovely little favour box for a table for a party or a wedding, wouldn't it?
Could be a place setting and a table.
It could, couldn't it? Yeah, you could have a name on the back of it, a little gift inside it. And again, you know, once you've done the die cutting, if it was batch making, I would do all my box die cutting first, then I'd do all the decorative elements next, and then I'd actually glue it all, put all the glue on the tabs, and literally do it like a production line so that you've got them all ready. But yeah, really, really straightforward, really simple to pop together, and perfect use for that red line tape there.
Yeah, it really, really is. If you want to go for the treat box die collection, 3 different styles of boxes, and also you've then got the ability to the mechanism to connect them all together, which is brilliant. So make sure you are stocking up on those. The other thing that we looked at there, of course, was the red liner tape as well. So when you go for the red liner tape, that's available. You're getting 2 of the 12mm, 2 of the 6mm, and 2 of the 3mm, I believe was what you got there. We'll just give you the details for that. I will just find those. Hedrick says, Jan, you are absolutely the best teacher. I've paid for crafts for many years. I always learn something when I watch you. So
thank you.
Thanks. Pat says, I wish Jan was on more. Love the way she teaches. You're actually on a fair bit at the moment, aren't you, Jan?
I've got a few more days this month. Yeah, I have explained previously that I only work part-time because I've got other commitments at home with my little grandson. we do his childcare when mum's working, so obviously I'm sort of split between the two. But yeah, this month, obviously with our Craig being off at the minute, we're all doing a little bit extra to cover Craig. So yeah, this month you actually get to see a bit more of me. I'm actually back on Monday, so it's not too long to wait. Got 3 shows on Monday with producer Johnny. Yeah, lots to show you on Monday. I've got all that prep ready, yeah.
Looking forward to that. If it's the red liner tape you wanted to go for, that was the other thing that Jan used along with the treat boxes. Details are here, £15, $31. That gets you 6 rolls of that. We're going to move on though. We're going to look at the hot glue gun. I'll show you a few more comments before we do. Mimi says, Jan, thank you so much for clarifying about the different adhesives. I'm taking notes and we'll keep this information on my craft desk. Patty says, so many uses for those gorgeous treat boxes. Mary saying the possibilities are endless with the decorative pieces. Barbara saying, a great tip, Jan, to laminate the instructions. We'll be giving that a go. Helen saying, I love all the pretty intricate designs within the CC items. I think that's a really good point. As Sam Kidd said, that light blue is such a beautiful colour. For Holiday saying it's super cute, as is Cheryl. Connie's got a question regarding, I don't know what that means, regarding, I should say, the small bottle of tacky glue. How do you store this? Do you lay it on its side or store it upside down, or how?
The little applicator bottle, I just keep it stood with the rest of my glue, so it just stays stood up. And all it does when I come to actually refill it is just take it apart in the middle. So you're basically taking the actual screw cap off. All right, if you've got any little bits of sort of hard glue in there, remove it. Do the same with your tacky glue. So again, just, I don't know whether this one will come apart. Yeah, here we go, look, in the middle. And then very, very slowly decant one into the other. It's as simple as that. And then I always give this a wipe, so it's good housekeeping, just to make sure that there's no residue glue, because that's the bit where you have trouble unscrewing them then. The same with this one. Just get rid of any residue that may be around the threads where the pieces screw together, and then pop it back together. And wherever you've got the pin in the top, this will stay usable. And like I say, the pins that come with these are stainless steel pins, so they won't actually, the water content in the glue won't affect them. If for any reason you've lost or broken the pin, which occasionally I do, sometimes I pull it and the little bead comes off the end. If you just use a normal pin that's not stainless steel, I think we had a lady ask earlier about the glue going brown, and what it is, it's actually the pin rusting. Because of the water content in the glue, the pin will start to rust and therefore turn it into the glue. So by it being stainless steel, it won't rust and it stays there perfectly. Just keep it on my desk. It comes with me, it travels with me when I come here, and it works perfectly fine.
Absolutely brilliant.
I know some people do keep them. I've seen, I know our Debbie Fisher, she's actually got a little gadget that she pops hers in and keeps it upside down ready to use. And I think I've seen Craig do something similar, but I don't have any problem with mine. That glue's quite runny, and I tend to keep it topped up, a little bit like when you're using the syringe. When you finish for the day, top it up again so that it's ready for the next day, and it's all good to go.
Amazing. Jan, in the next 23 minutes, we're going to be giving someone £500 of dollars. Honestly, I feel like we're going to announce the National Lottery. And we've got to put someone else on the nice list first before then, don't forget. So we've got quite a lot to do. Right, let's move on. The glue gun, it is UK only, I'm afraid. US peeps, it is only available in the UK. However, there is, isn't there, a US warehouse clearance on Sunday.
Oh.
Keep your eyes peeled. We have had them, the US ones, in the US warehouse clearance before. Now, I didn't think we carried these in the UK for ages, Jan.
They're another one of those things that we get them in. Everything's ordered in batches.
Because they were US only for ages, weren't they?
Yeah, and then obviously once they've gone, we have to wait for the next delivery. So if they sell really quickly, like the tape pens tend to, we then have to wait for the next delivery to arrive. So it is a case, while they're in stock, if it's something you're interested in, it's worth actually getting one. And I'm going to show you something with this tonight that, again, I don't think I've seen anybody do.
Ooh.
Now, just initially, to just use it very straightforward, the actual glue gel that we pop the decoupage together with is now what I call touch dry. It's had over an hour now. It's not squishing when I touch it. I would still be reluctant to pop it in an envelope and send it through the mail as yet. I would leave it overnight, but it's actually okay to work with. And more often than not, you've seen us use the glue gun to attach something like this, and pop it onto a card. You saw, if you were watching this morning, you saw me use the glue gun in conjunction with the foam flowers, and it's great. It's just another instant glue. So again, it dries quite quickly, and you can secure something on the top, and it's perfect. I use my glue gun a lot when I'm doing mixed media projects, and I'm adding all sorts of different things. But what I'm going to show you, I haven't seen done before here. Joe's going to love this. When I mentioned the word wax seal, Joe.
Oh,
I know
Debbie
you like
Fisher's
a good
favourite.
wax seal, don't you?
I
but
do.
This is a faux wax seal, because we're going to make it out of glue. So if I show you my envelope that I've done here, and just have a little look, you can actually see here that we've almost got like a translucent wax seal on the bottom made out of the hot glue, and all I've done is just trap some flowers behind it to add a decorative element. So made the envelopes on my enveloper.
Well, Jan, before we get into this,
is it time?
It's not time for the grand draw,
I got a bit
but it is
giddy
time
then.
to put the last name
On our list.
onto mine
We've
and
got one
Ben's
space
nice
left.
list. We have one space left, so
Right.
we better get that space filled, because then we are, of course, going to
Do the
do the
big
actual
draw.
big draw. And the last space is going to Lorraine. Why have I done it all in smalls and then I've done the last one in capitals? What's wrong with me?
Just
Eh?
to denote that we're at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Bonito.
Excellent, well done, Lorraine. So that puts you into that draw.
It does,
then.
yeah. So you need to email us, please, Lorraine. prizes@crafterscompanion.com. And then we're also going to, of course, do the grand draw for a £500 or dollar spend before the end of this show.
Yep.
In 40 minutes. In less than
Less
20
than
minutes, not
40
in 40
minutes,
minutes.
yeah.
You don't have to wait
Yep.
that long. So I'm going to head back over and then we'll start. Someone's going to have to fire up I don't know, the tombola or I don't know, something along those lines. Who knows what it is?
So I'll make this very quick, and then we're just going to talk very quickly about the alternative glues as well, and then we can get to that fantastic draw. So I've just made myself a little 6x4 envelope using the enveloper, nice and straightforward. If you've not seen those done before, there are loads of videos using the enveloper and the Ultimate Pro, that kind of thing. And then what I've done is I've pinched one of my little wax seal things from the kits that come with Sarah Signature Collections. Recently I've had several of these in. So I've just picked one that had a couple of little hearts in, and they just screw onto the metal handle there. And this is what we actually use. Normally you would melt wax onto here to seal the envelope. Very, very realistic. If you're wanting to create something along you know, something like a Harry Potter theme, you know, they often have the seals on them like that. If you're wanting to do something that looks sort of very oldie worldy, they often use the wax seals to seal things like that. So what we're actually going to do is use the hot glue to actually make that seal. So what I've done is I've just grabbed a few little paper flowers, just sort of to make it a bit more decorative. These are just out of my stash, and I'm actually going to pop those onto my envelope and then literally squeeze out, sort of just, for want of a better term, a blob of glue. Okay, now I can just see that my glue's actually running, right at the last minute it's running out. We might just get enough here to do what I want to do. So I'm just squeezing out about the size of, roughly, I would say a 2p coin here in the UK. And then I'm going to pop my wax, my seal straight into it here, and I'm just pressing it over the flowers.
I love this idea, Jan.
And then
great way to use up them when that candle has run out, you know, rather than having to, you know, great way to
my
use it up.
next investigation is to see whether I know you can buy coloured glue sticks. Which
You
would
can
look
buy
great.
glittery glue sticks as well,
You can buy
can't you?
glitter glue sticks.
Yeah,
and
I
all
love
sorts.
those.
Now, we don't actually make those, so my next investigation is to see whether I can add some colour to this. I've not thought that through yet, because I'm working with a hot glue product. It's whether I could drop maybe something like some sparkle ink into it before I put the wax. So that's something I'm going to experiment with. But you do need to leave it a little while, just so that that glue cools slightly. And then when we take that off there, you can actually feel when it's ready to come off, because it will actually separate quite easy. So that's still got a little bit of resistance on there yet. But what I'm going to do, just to make it show up a little bit better, is actually bring in the old wax. So although we've not used wax, we're going to put wax over the top of it. And this just highlighted it that little bit to give it some colour. Now I'm actually going to use one of the gold ones on here, because it went with the design. But again, just to make sure that that glue is touch dry, and you'll be able to feel As I say, if there's any resistance, it's not ready yet because it's technically stuck to it. But as the glue dries and cools down, you'll be able to release the metal off the top of it. So again, you'll have more time to do this at home, but you can get the idea there. So it's not easy to see while it's clear. You can just see that detail inside there catching the light. But what I thought then was, just by adding a little tiny bit of the gilding wax over the top of it, just brings out that detail a bit more. So again, you know, whether you want to use the gold, one of the darker golds, whether you want silver to match your project. And this sticks to the glue. That was something that I tested. I thought, is it just going to wipe off? But this one's dry and it doesn't go anywhere. But again, just highlights it that a little bit, enough to be able to see it a bit better. And I just thought, what a novel way, if you don't have any wax, or like Joe said, you know, if you've bought the kits and you've used them and you've run out of the wax. I'd never actually seen this done before, but again, you've got a couple there. If I just bring them in close now, you can see that detail on there, where the wax has just brought out the pattern on there. Now, I've got loads of these at home that have come with the signature kits, and I just thought this opens up a whole new world.
A
Doesn't
really
even
great
have
thing
to
to
be
do.
the closure on an envelope. You might actually want to do this as an embellishment. If you don't want to attach it straight to the
You could
actual
always let
project,
Debbie Fisher know about this as well and see if she finds it any more manageable than the wax.
I knew you'd bring that up. But yeah, if you don't want to go straight onto your project, you can work onto the, you know, the craft mats.
Yes.
These ones. You can actually put the glue straight onto here because these will take the heat. So you can actually squeeze your glue onto here, you can do them onto there, let it dry, take it off and you've got your seal, and then you can peel it off the mat and you've actually got a separate embellishment then that if you want to use on a project, on a card, on a scrapbook page, it will work that way as well. So yeah, fascinating. I thought, oh, I'm all for a new technique.
Really, really cool. Have you got anything you're putting in for card of the show, Jan?
I don't think so.
No,
today.
okay,
It wasn't that kind of show today.
We're just going to vote on Natalie's two then. In that case, this can be number
She's
one.
done some gorgeous ones,
In that case, which is Sana, which is that one just there, and then this one here can be number two. So get voting on those two, and then we will do card of the day after that. I know who has won £500 or $500.
Oh my goodness!
But you are going to have to wait another 13 minutes to find out, I'm afraid. One of you lucky lot is going to be a very, very happy sausage. I'm just trying to see if I can see their name on the board. See what day it was that they were drawn out. Maybe we could narrow it down to, then we could really eke it out, you know, a bit like the X Factor at the end, when the pause goes on for about 8 years at the end before they announce the winner. A lot of people really loving the idea of that wax seal trick. Fred says you can add glitter or use old crayons to add colour. Love that idea.
Sprinkle glitter into it.
A brilliant idea, Jan, says Beverly. Lynn saying that's a really good tip to make a wax seal with a glue gun. And Marilyn says to create your own seals with hot glue is ingenious. To quote them, which I think is rather awesome. Next up then we are going to go through some individual glues with Jan. Some of these, Jan, are I've never heard of them before.
These are what I call the alternative glue. So these are very sort of specialist purpose, and the ones that we carry in our range, and you can see by the design of the bottle that we've got that Kalal brand again, which we all know and love. And they've all got their own sort of specific purpose. And again, we'll go through each one. I'm not going to demo with them. I'm just going to talk you through them. I'm trying to turn them so that you can see the labels there, and I'm going the wrong way. There we go. So to start at this side with the big one, this is actually a 500 ml.
Oh,
just
half a litre.
a white PVA glue, okay? So it's not the tacky glue. It is just like, I would say refer to it, you know, like you buy the school PVA glue. It's that kind of thing. It behaves very similar to the tacky glue, but it's actually a much, much larger bottle. So if you're doing a lot of projects, you've actually got that facility there. To be aware that this is still a water-based glue, so you've still got that element where you need to shake it before you use it. If any of you have tried it, and sometimes the same with the tacky glue, you squeeze it out and all you get is a really runny, dribbly bit, and you think, what's happened to my glue? It's actually the water content that's separated out of the glue. So both of these, anything that's white, that's water-based, give it a good shake. So it's just offering you that larger tube there if you're wanting to. And I was just having a look on here. It says quick drying, white and washable, water-based glue, transparent when dry, and provides an elastic glue film. Whatever one of those is. Okay?
Whatever one of those is.
Whatever one of those is, an elastic film. I've always wanted one of those. So it will glue paper, cardboard, cork, wood, polystyrene, foam, leather, textile and light plastics. All right, so as I say, it behaves very, very similar to the tacky glue. You've just got that 500ml.
And a great price, £8.09, UK only though on that. Can we do card of the day, Jan?
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant, let's get that done then. Numero uno, number one, is this one just here. There we are. Number two is this one, which is gorgeous. And then card of the show for this show was number two, which is number three for card of the day. So 1, 2 or 3. Very, very confusing, isn't it, today? No, is that right? Yes, that is right. Honestly, I don't know what day it is, Jan. I'm confusing myself. There we are. Right, we'll go back to Jan. I reckon we're only about 4 minutes away from revealing who that big winner is as well, Jan, you know.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Very exciting. So I'm going to bring this one up next, and this one's actually called bookbinding glue. So any of you guys out there that like to make your own albums, and I've seen lots of people work with things like chipboard, greyboard, where you make the covers for your own mini albums. This one's a specialist glue for adhering paper or fabric to the front of your things like chipboard or mountboard. I know some people use the back of cereal packets and stick a couple of layers together. It's just a specialist glue fit for purpose that you're going to get a really good adhesion with. If you're going to make something like a memory album, you don't want it falling apart once it's been used a couple of times. So again, fit for purpose, specialist glue designed purely for that particular project. And then moving on, we've got the felt glue. Again, what it says on the tin. Felt is a weird kind of material. It doesn't behave like a lot of other materials, and sometimes if you use an ordinary PVA glue, it doesn't stick very well.
Is this one machine washable, Jan, this one?
Pardon?
Machine washable, this one. Off the top of my head, it is to 30 degrees, but I could be wrong.
Let me have a look. I'm just trying to read the small print. I've not got my goggles on, so transparent when dry. Can be removed with warm water.
Oh no, if you can...
I don't think it actually
I must have
says
got confused with
about,
I must be getting confused with the
washable.
textile glue.
Possibly. But again, you know, if you're wanting to stick any felt embellishments, or if you've done any die cutting with our felt, with the multimedia dies, brilliant one again, just designed purely for purpose for sticking the felt so that you've not got that too much sort of runny glue going through the fabric and soaking through. So again, these are just optional ones. And then we've got the textile glue, again, pretty much textiles of any shape or form. And this one does actually say on the back, Joe, that might be where you've seen it, washable up to 40 degrees. Okay, so the textile glue can, you know, pop it through a low heat cycle or even a hand wash, and you've got textile embellishments there. And then the last one is the Styrocol. Now again, this is very similar. It's a clear glue like our all-purpose glue, but because this has got a solvent base, it will actually eat its way through the polystyrene in time. So the Styrocol is just made in a slightly different manner, taken out the element that causes the problem and allows you to use that. So if you're making, I know you can buy the polystyrene shapes either to play with the kiddies or Christmas decorations, wreaths, things like that. Perfect glue for adhering your embellishments or your pieces to that. So again, just a few specialist ones there just to show you, just to sort of add to that collection if you so wish.
Oh,
he's walking over to the list. He's coming over to the list. Is this
Jan.
it? Do we need a...
I think we do. It's the time is now to find out. I can tell you...
Someone is going to win £500 or $500.
So who we got? Should we go through them?
Shall we read
Stacey
them?
Hubble, Shaw Pack, Beverly Bryant, Mal Tomlinson, Robin Hart, Tracy Lewis, Bethan Lyon, Gillian Barron, Emma Walsh, Julia Selden, Lynn Cherryman, Jean Emeryman, Deb Rich, Sarah something, Joy Sampson, Clarden, Jean, Helen, Cynthia, Kim, Kelly, Samantha, Marilyn, Miriam and Lorraine. It is one of you.
There's a few names on there that I recognise.
I can tell you, if you
Is
are
it
in...
an odd or an even number, Joe?
well, I can tell you if you are in 1 to 10, it is not you.
Oh.
So let's wind them up.
Oh.
I can tell you, if you are in
Suspense is killing.
1 to 20, it might be you.
It might be you. Oh, hang fire.
I can tell you, if you are in 20 to 25, it's not you.
Oh.
So
So between 10
10
and 20.
and 20.
Is it odd or is it even, Joe?
If you are an even number between 1 and 20,
Between 10 and 20.
between 10 and 20, thanks, Jan. If you are an even number between 20 and 10 20,
10 and
Julia
20.
Selden, Jean Emery, Sarah, Clarden, Helen, Kim, it is not you.
Oh, gosh. It's
So,
an odd number between 11 and 19. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
so is it Lynn Cherryman? Is it Deb
Deb.
Rich? Is it Joy
Joy.
Sampson? Is it Jean? Is it Cynthia?
Oh.
Cynthia Wood. It might be you.
He's playing this one, isn't he? He's auditioning here.
Jean
They're not watching, you know,
Estes.
from...
Jean Estes. It might be. No, it's definitely not you. It's not you.
Oh.
Cynthia, it might
bad
be you.
luck,
Jean, it's not you. Joy Sampson. It's not you.
Oh, bad luck, Joy.
Deb Rich. It might be you.
Ooh, still in with the chance. So
Lynn
13
Cherryman.
and 19.
It's not you.
Bad luck.
So,
either number
is it
is it going to be unlucky
Deb
for some, number
Rich?
13?
Is it Deb Rich?
Or is it
or is
number
it Cynthia
19?
Wood? The winner. Should we see what they're saying in the comments? The winner.
He's just checking now that he's got the right person.
Ooh, what are people saying at home? I know, I'm just letting suspense build. We've still got 4 minutes left to fill. Jan, is it Deb Rich? Is it Cynthia Wood? I don't know. No, I do. I do know, really.
You do know.
The winner of the demo of the day goes to number 3. The one from this
Lovely,
show.
yep.
Right. Cynthia Wood, Deb Rich.
I
The
wonder if
winner.
they're watching.
The winner, don't forget what you're going to win as well.
wonder if they're
£500
actually watching,
or
Joe.
$500.
Let us know if
£500
you're
or
watching,
$500.
guys.
Are they watching? This
they
is cruel, says
Oh.
Kathy C. I don't think it's cruel. I think this is called
He's enjoying
building
himself over here.
suspense. I am. It's been the highlight of my day. This really is. A lot of you are still chatting away. We've still got 3.5 minutes. When are you back with us, Jan?
I'm back on Monday. I'm
Jan is
back on
back with
Monday.
us.
I've got wake up call. What have I actually got? I've got wake up call. I've got launch day. I've got a oh my goodness! Yeah, you're gonna love the launch on Monday.
Cynthia and Deb are going to kill us.
It is Christmas related, but it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Based around florals again, and then we've got Monday makers. Okay, so yes,
Right, the winner then.
the winner.
The winner is...
Is it going to be Deb? Unlucky 13?
Is it going to be Deb?
Or lucky 13?
Is it going to be Cynthia? It's Deb! Deb
Excellent! So the
Rich!
number 13 was lucky.
You are the winner!
Well done, Deb. £500 or $500.
$500. I'd love to know what you're going to spend
That
it on.
is a lot
Is
of
Deb
money
watching?
to spend. Is she? I don't
Is she
know.
watching? Is she in the comments?
I don't know.
I don't know. Right, remember what is coming up tomorrow. Yes, I'm watching!
Oh, excellent.
What
Well
are you
done,
going to spend
Deb.
it on, Deb? Let us know what you are going to spend it on. Tomorrow, then, coming up here on Crafters TV. I'm not texting my mum, I'm looking at my calendar.
Saturday, isn't it?
It
I've
is
lost
Saturday,
the
so
days.
play your crafts right.
Yep.
We'll be coming up with myself and Corinne, which will be lovely. Lots of really wonderful products for you to grab a hold of in there. And then we'll have a masterclass, flower forming, which is right up our Corinne's
Oh, she
strata.
loves her flowers, doesn't she?
She does indeed. And then I'm chipping off for the day. I'm done after that. and Corinne will be here presenting a Totally Tiffany takeover.
Brilliant.
With Tiffany Spalding from Totally Tiffany,
Yeah.
which will be lovely. And then Sunday, oh my, what a day we got for you on Sunday. We have got Colour Me Happy with myself and Corinne. Masterclass with myself and Corinne. That's all about Enchanted Dreams.
Ooh,
and then a
lovely.
3-hour US warehouse clearance.
Wow.
We'll be over on Crafters Companion USA, I'd imagine. And that'll be
think
with
so.
myself and Sarah. And that'll be 1 p.m. East Coast, 10 a.m. West Coast for 3 whole hours. Closing out the weekend in style. Stephanie says, what torture for Deb and Cynthia. I know. I
He's
mean,
enjoyed every minute of
I've
it.
loved that. I think we need to end all competitions like this. I think we should have 100 though and just whittle it down slowly.
At least he did it from 10, 1 to 10. We could have gone number 1, it's not you.
Yeah.
Number 2, it's not. At least he did it
Imagine.
in groups.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Jan, massive thank you
You're
to you.
welcome.
Big thanks to all of you at home. Make sure you check out your baskets. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another full day of crafting. Take care.